All right, it's not Thursday. It's Tuesday. Jerry's going on vacation on Thursday, so this isn't the normal time for the BS sessions. But let me throw it to my buddy Jerry Supe. What's up, brother?
Not much, man. How you doing?
Good, man.
Yeah, fucking another long ass day at work, man. Looking forward to this. Let's introduce the guests here, man. First of all, we got our old friend Andy Rodriguez, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I am so excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me. I'm excited. This list has gone through several changes. So I'm excited about this show. So I'm ready to go. I like Tuesdays. Maybe this can be a new thing for you.
All right.
Then,
Of course,
It's so weird because Tuesdays always is my favorite day of the week, and it has been ever since I was a kid. I don't know why.
oh, wow.
Tuesday is just my favorite. I don't know why.
Well, I
Then
just
we got
like
one of
because I
our-
could drink faster. All right, go ahead.
Then we got one of our younger guests. You know, is probably more about music than I know. He's like, I'm like twice his age. Knows more about music than I do. Travis Perrotta, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Good to be here with you guys.
I'm still blown away that you're a fucking 6'4" tall. You're serious. You're 6'4".
Yeah,
Damn, it fucking blows my
I'm
mind. Dude.
6'3",
Look, I've been
6'3".
I've been looking up to you. I'm 6'1". Damn. I look up to Bushy.
And then we got one of our returning guests, man. I love this guy. He hasn't been on in a while, but this is his idea for a show. Metal Mike, man. How you doing, dude?
Thanks for having me, man. I'm doing good, guys. Didn't think I was going to get out of work because the public health people decided to show up at like 3 in the afternoon, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? Because usually they don't come in that late. As a management, I can't leave until they leave. So,
Oh, I know that very
so
well.
I was starting to sweat it, guys. I was like, I didn't know if I was going to get here in time. Thank God I did a lot of this beforehand, but then I had to rank them, and it was driving me crazy, man. It's what I get for coming up with this topic. But part of it was inspired because Mark hit me up. He's like, dude, we haven't done anything in a while. And I haven't done anything podcasting related recently because Bushy's internet is out. He's in the process of moving, and he's supposed to get new internet or new connection, but I guess the wheels turn very slowly in his neck of the woods. So still waiting, kind of in limbo right now. I was on Black Spinner's podcast about a week or so ago with Andy, which we had a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. But what inspired me is you had just recently done an episode of like the greatest opening tracks. So I thought, well, and I've always wanted to do this. I've always wanted to do the greatest. In my opinion, a lot of these are what I call epic closing tracks. They're tracks that are just it usually finish off an album that's amazing, and it's just, and leaves you wanting more.
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah,
that's why I picked it. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, Mark, man, let's get into this BS shit, dude.
Let's get into the BS, man. Let's start off with some obligatory Kiss news since we haven't had that in a few weeks.
Oh, good God.
Ace Frehley announced a split from Beyonce after nearly 6 years together. It was just time. I got something to say. You wrote a lot of songs with her on that last horrible album you just released. Maybe this is a good thing for him. Maybe he could get back to being Ace, because I hated that last album. It's like one of the worst things I ever heard. But
It is.
what do you think about it, Jerry?
Too bad or congratulations. I don't know if it was a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, okay. That's it.
Andy.
I didn't even know he was seeing anybody. So
Yeah, he wrote one of the songs I heard. It's like he wrote about her.
Yeah.
Who split from Beyonce?
Beyonce.
I'm confused.
Ace Frehley split from his fiance.
Oh, fiance. Oh, well, maybe in a way, because I have noticed with a lot of artists when they're really sad and depressed is usually when they write their best shit. He needs to get whoever the fuck from fucking, I can't even remember the horrible band. Oh, don't ever collaborate with him again, Ace. This last record didn't do
from
it for me at all.
Trickster?
Yeah. Oh,
Steve Brown?
Steve
yeah, I just
Brown?
threw up in my mouth. I mean, I'm like, really, Ace? Like, why are you collaborating with? I mean, he might be the nicest guy in the world, but Trickster sucks. Okay, I'm
I thought that
sorry.
was a
I don't even
joke.
think that's an opinion. That's just science. And
I like 2 albums, not the first one. The first one was horrible to me, but
well, I mean, hey, like what you like, and I don't mean to sound like I mean, because I'm sure Trickster has their fans, so before anybody burns me in effigy or crucifies me,
well, I'm not going to go out and pay
all
to see
10
them.
of you.
I'm not going to go out and I'm not going to
All
go
their
out and
family
pay.
members.
I wouldn't even pay $10 to see them. They're not my. There you go.
Okay, so how many are any of you guys Trickster fans?
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not.
No,
Give It To
look,
Me Good is
Travis
like
is like,
what-
hell no. Like your shirt, Travis.
Give It To Me
Thank-
Good was like one of the worst songs I've ever heard. So
Well,
What?
anyway, Ace, as much as I love him, I wasn't really, this last album didn't really do it for me, like at all. But to be really honest, the last few of his solo albums have been kind of hit and miss with me. And that's, look, I'm one of those guys that anybody expects, especially these legacy guys, to like do another. Like, I love Ace, but he's never going to do anything that's going to equal the 78 solo album. It's just not going to happen. Okay. It's just not, So it's not that I'm saying, oh, hey, my fellow music fans, you should just accept shit. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I do think sometimes when we go into a legacy artist's new album, you need to kind of lower your expectations. Because if you're expecting, like Ozzy, for instance, Ozzy, if we're expecting another Blizzard of Oz or Diary of Man, it's not going to happen, guys. Okay. I mean, that doesn't mean that anything he's put out recently is bad. It's just not going to be on that level. And anybody that expects it to be, well, then you need to quit doing whatever drugs it is you're doing, because it's just not going to happen, man. You're going to be you better get used to disappointment, as Carrie Elway said in Princess Bride. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. That's just my take on it. But hey, man, Ace, he'll bounce back. He's Ace Frehley. He'll find another chick. He seems to have picked these crazy ones, man. That last girlfriend of his,
Rachel. Rachel. She was
cute as could be, but wow, was she?
somebody
Man.
said he had a black eye that this new one hit him. I don't know, but that's what I
Maybe we
heard
should get a
about.
Playboy bunny like Gene did.
Yeah,
Oh,
Shannon
yeah.
Tweed's hot. I love Shannon Tweed, but what do you think about Ace splitting up, Travis?
I really don't give a rat's ass.
That's what I'm thinking. It's like, what do you do?
I mean, she's like 30-something years old, and he's like 73. She
That's
did
some
not
crusty
she did
balls,
not get
man.
together with him. She did not get together with him for his looks. Let's just
Yeah,
say
it's not quite Anthony Kiedis bad, but it's pretty bad. Yeah.
Oh, he looks like a porn star
sorry,
now.
babe, your album didn't sell that well, and Cherry Medicine ain't cutting the dice. So see ya.
What's Anthony Kiedis dating? Is he dating a 19-year-old? I think.
Something like that.
Oh, Anthony Kiedis, yeah.
Yeah.
He's going, here you go, chickie. Here's a new car for you. Date me. I want your pussy.
I'll be your junk.
Well, did you see that meme where it shows an old, like a hot chick with an old man, and then it shows the next picture, it just shows her hugging the ATM?
That's funny.
Pretty factual.
All right, let's get to some more obligatory Kiss news, because I think you guys all have an opinion on this, because this is stupid, I think. Gene Simmons was asked if there's any things he would have that happened over the last 50 years that he would handle differently. If he could go back in time, he responded in part, well, I'm sad in retrospect, hindsight's 2020. I'm sad I wasn't more hard on fellow original Kiss members, Ace Frehley and Peter Criss, the 2 original guys who played guitar and drums in the band, apparently referencing Ace's and Peter's troubles with drugs and alcohol. Continued, I'd never been high or drunk or never smoked cigarettes, so I've always been the outcast in some way, and the rest of the world seemed to be drug-fueled. What do you think about that, Mike?
So let me get this straight. He's sorry that he didn't exacerbate the breakup of Kiss quicker than he did. Whatever. I mean, look, I understand in a way. I love Ace and Peter. Could I have lived with Ace and Peter? Could I have been in a band with them 2 crazy motherfuckers 20? I don't know. Maybe not. The problem with Gene, though, man, is he's a total control freak. And if it hadn't have been drugs, he would have been bitching about something else. That's just how I feel about it. Both Gene and Paul are total fucking control freaks. And I mean, look at that Tom Snyder interview from years ago.
Ah,
They
classic.
couldn't stand it that Ace was getting the spotlight, man. They couldn't, especially Gene. He was fucking fuming, man. And like I said, I'm not saying that Ace can do no wrong or anything like that, but you know, Gene, the thing that pisses me off about Gene is like he'll bitch about like how Ace wasn't there to play lead guitar on Sweet Pain. I think it was like 2 or 3 tracks off Destroyer. But yet it was okay for him not to play tracks on several songs on several albums when he was busy making movies and shit.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, but that's okay because it's Gene. You know, that's where I have a problem with Gene. It's like, dude, just shut your fucking mouth, man. Unless you recorded every bass line on every fucking Kiss song, and I know for a fucking fact you didn't, Mr. Demon.
He didn't even do on a solo album.
No. You know, just stop it already. Just stop. I mean, I'm just like, you know, fucking shut up. Personally, I just wish they'd all kind of shut the fuck up. And this is coming from a guy who I owe my whole love of hard rock and metal to Kiss, okay? But I'm just done. Like them and the Avatar, I'm fucking done. All right. I don't even care anymore. Like, you know,
Peter
remember-
seems to have stepped away from the spotlight.
Oh,
a little
big
bit,
time, big time, man. But I mean,
It's because
Like,
Peter Chris used wisdom.
I don't really care anymore. Like, I don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
I'll always love what they did from 74 to 78, and I'll count 79 too for part of that. But after, I mean, that's it for me. And I don't really care anymore. Like, as far as their personal lives or, you know, whatever. I'm kind of glad it's over. I really am, man, because it became kind of a fucking joke as far as
It was a clown show. Absolutely, it was. Yep.
you know, I mean, you know, so, but that's me. I mean, I know I'm probably the jaded, crotchety old fuck, whatever. Okay. I don't care. It's just my opinion. You know, I mean, but you know how the Kiss tards are, man. They'll fucking defend it no matter what. They don't care. It's like it. You know, I mean, you just got, and it's not just Kiss. There's almost every band has those segment of fans.
Maiden and Kiss, I think, are the worst.
It's like no matter what they do, it's fucking brilliant. It's great, and if you don't like it, then you're not a real fan.
Yeah,
Well, whatever. You know,
Metallica has some bad ones too. Because I talk shit about Saint Anger. I get the fucking Riot Act.
Oh, dude, there's some Metallica tar.
Yeah.
They're out there.
Or it'll be the complete opposite, where Metallica releases a decent song and people, the haters, will be like, "Oh, it's still crap."
Yeah,
You're right.
definitely.
You're right. You are absolutely right. And I mean, Travis, I will be the first to admit I was kind of one of those guys for a while. Like I remember,
too. I
literally
was-
remember when Hardwired to Self-Destruct the video came out. I was with my nephew King, and we're hanging out. We get on YouTube now, and you know, because I had my Roku. I said, well, let's see if this is even worth the fuck. Because that's how jaded I had gotten as a Metallica fan. Because I make no bones about it. I'm not a fan of the Bob Rock era of the band, guys. Sorry.
I thought you
Yeah,
liked
there's
some of
good
the Black
songs.
Album.
Huh?
Didn't you like some of the Black Album?
I like some of it,
Yeah.
but I got to be honest with you. It took me years to really sit down and listen to it. I fucking hated it the first time I heard it. I felt it was a sellout. I didn't like it. I felt betrayed. Like I felt betrayed. I felt like I did when I was fucking 8 or 9 years old and I heard Dynasty's fucking Kiss with I Was Made for Loving You for the first time. I was like, what is this shit?
Oh,
That's
that would have
how I
pissed me
felt.
off as a Kiss
And I know
fan.
that that's
Ooh.
blasphemous to a lot of people. I understand the Black Album sold a gazillion copies, and I understand to a lot of people it was their first Metallica album. So I get it. I get it. You know, I get it now. And there are some good jams on that album. There are.
I do love the Black Album, but if I never heard it again, I would be okay.
Oh, I can
Like-
listen to that all the time.
And,
Right.
and you know, I gotta say, like, I felt that way about Hardwire,
I like Hardwire. I thought it was pretty
and I was a
cool.
little bit, I was a little cautious because some people were saying, "Oh, the new Metallica song's good." I'm like, I checked it out. I'm like, it is good. And then I heard "Spit Out the Bone." I'm like, holy
Blew me away.
shit!
That's what I'm saying. Like Hardwired, I remember I looked at
Great.
my nephew and I'm watching the video, and this is my reaction. I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm looking at him, he's looking at me, and I'm like, And it's pretty fucking good. Because I was like those guys in Major League that are like, and these guys are fucking awful. And then by the middle of the movie, these guys ain't so fucking bad. That's how I was.
Randy Quaid.
Because I had gotten so used to just, I'm sorry. I know that's, because I know some people absolutely just adore Load and Reload, but I don't.
Oh,
I don't.
no.
And
Hey,
I
I
still think-
changed my
they're
mind on those
terrible.
albums. I can make one good album.
And-
Both
and-
those together.
and it's not that, again, there's like a couple of songs I like, but overall it was like, to me, when people try to defend that and tell me, well, they were just doing what they wanted to do. Okay, yeah, right. You know what? I've got actual pictures of them on magazine covers literally saying, don't call us a metal band. What the fuck are you talking about, Lars? It's in your name, Metallica. They did. I don't care what they want. People want to candy coat it and they want to give them a pass, and that's fine. You can do that, but they turned their back on metal. I don't care what anybody says. They did it. It's out there. I have the proof. I can show people, man.
And Phil Anselmo said that at Pantera's concert, Metallica turned their back on metal, but we didn't, or something like that.
Right? And I'm not. And that's just, again, that's my opinion, but I mean, I have like actual people shut up when I show the pictures of them during the Load era. I'm like, explain this to me. They looked alternative. They were trying to go for a grungy alternative. They were following trends. Okay.
Yeah, they were.
Every great band does it. Kiss did it. Alice Cooper.
But Kiss never stopped.
Here's the difference though. Kiss though, the thing about Metallica that they not only got by with it, they didn't just survive doing it, they thrived doing it. It was like, no matter what they put out, I didn't see any major backlash until Saint Anger. That's when there was backlash for some of the hardcores like me, but man, Saint Anger was when I noticed people really, really flipped out, man.
I bought that CD the first day. I put it in my car. I got through 5 songs and turned it off. I couldn't listen to, and it's sitting right here. I never listened to it.
Yeah, I remember a buddy of mine, he tried to defend it because he was one of the, Zach's that guy. I love you, Zach, but he will defend Metallica no matter what. And I was just like, bro, I understand. Again, it was one of them things where I kind of understand what they were trying to do, but it didn't really. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. They hadn't done anything that really grabbed me until Hardwired. And I was like, man. And then, of course, Spit Out the Bone. I'm like, hell yeah. And I even like some of the slower songs. Like, because I hate that when people throw that, well, you're just pissed because they didn't play 90 miles. Fuck off.
I like that one song where it goes. It's like
I'm sorry, dude, but not every song in the Cliff Burton era, and even with Jason Newsted on Justice for All, was a million miles an hour.
Yeah.
No,
they weren't. Okay, so I don't want to hear that. When people throw that in my face, that, oh, it's because they got, no, man, I don't mind if you slow it down. I just think part of my problem with the Black Album with certain songs is I understand them simplifying things, especially with Justice for All, because Injustice was almost like progressive thrash. So I do understand what the mindset was and what they were, but they went too far in that direction. Like Sad But True, an amazing riff. But God, does it get fucking redundant. It's the same riff over and over and over. It never changes. It never does anything. Got a cool solo, but after a while, I'm like, and one of the things I always loved about Metallica is they would have one killer riff and then go right into another one, then go back to the other one. And, I don't know. It was just, I don't know, man. Metallica,
they dumbed themselves
on a musical journey,
They dumbed themselves down to make money.
They dumbed it way too down.
Yeah, I get that.
For me. Now
it got less complicated and more rhythm and groove.
And people love that. People that hate Load and Reload, they love The Memory Remains. I can't stand that song.
I love that song.
I do like that song. I do
like that song.
It's like when Marianne Faithfull does that. Na, 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 na.
I think it's awesome.
That. I love that
love
part.
It. I mean,
that part just straight on my nerves. No end.
You know what I think they should have done, and it would have made it cooler? Get Ozzy to sing the part.
That would have been awesome.
All right, let's get back on track here.
All right, sorry, man.
It's okay, but that was cool. That was a cool discussion, man. I like that. But Jerry, you have anything about Gene Simmons saying he should have been a dick to Ace and Peter?
I like how he says Ace Frehley and Peter Criss are original guitarist and drummer. Like nobody fucking knows that, I
think that's the article that wrote that. Oh no, okay. He said that. He said that. Yeah.
Like what the fuck, dude? Yeah, Gene's so full of shit. He's always had, but I agree with Mike, man. I'm glad it's over. You know, Gene and Paul are just so full. They're all full of shit, all of them. Peter, like we said, has stepped out of the spotlight. Congrats to him. He's probably said, "I had enough of this. Good luck to y'all," or whatever. But man, for years now, all three of those, Ace, Pete, Paul, and Gene, have just been so full of shit, man. I don't believe a single word that comes out of their mouths. I mean, it's a travesty, man. They're one of the best bands ever, dude. They're a huge influence on my life, and I hate to say that. But man, they just their legacy is just shot to hell.
You know what? I'm going to say something kind of evil, but there's been days where I almost wish they would have gotten Leonard Skinner's playing. Just saying.
Oh,
because then we would remember Kiss in a good way.
Yes.
Shit.
Oh,
Okay, that's
a terrible joke.
That was some
You know what, though? That's
there, man.
Hey, you know what? That's the kind of joke that would have made Ian Wadley proud.
I know.
Wadley
Does
would
not
have-
watch it, but
if they were retired after if they would have retired after the reunion tour, boom, perfect. Their
You know what,
legacy would have
Metal
been
Mike?
intact.
Metal Mike, that's
Everything.
so funny you mentioned that. It reminds me of that joke that Ian made in the Molly Hatcher review, where he heard a song. He's like, "Yeah, when Ronnie Van Zant heard this song, he wanted to crash the fucking plane."
I remember that.
I'm writing this shit down in the notes that Ian
Well,
Wadley's gonna
like
get mentioned.
I think because I talked about this a while back with Andy, we led Leonard Skinner did come up, and we did kind of do the whole what if thing, which I think that would be a really cool future episode maybe to do. What if, and like do a scenario.
I did a what if on Freeform. I think it's by myself. What if Bon Scott never died? What would
That's what I'm saying. You could do a
Yeah.
lot of what ifs, like because apparently Aerosmith almost bought the fucking plane that Leonard Skinner did go down.
They rejected it.
Well, the manager did said that it wasn't fit to fly.
Right.
But
So
then they were more
Metallica. The whole bus just crashed.
Yeah, but the thing is that Aerosmith was more well off than Skinner, so they can afford to get a better plane and be
sure.
You know, and this. I think what happened with Skinner, it like happened almost immediately, within minutes.
Yeah.
Like within minutes of takeoff, and it was already.
Same with Buddy Holly and Richie Valens, man. They weren't in the air for very long.
Waylon Jennings was supposed to be on that plane.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's pretty freaky, man. But Jerry, any more on Gene and
No. Next.
All right. Well, you have anything to say about Gene not being a dick to Ace and Peter? Andy?
Not really. It's already, but I did love the way that Gene said that they were on drugs but I've never done drugs. I've never had
Mr. Clean. I think it's bullshit. He's done something.
To put himself up. He's always doing that. It's like, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm doing drugs right now. But Travis, any thought on that?
It's funny. Every time I think of Gene and Paul being total control freaks, I mean, Gene, at least he's honest. But like Gene's like he's whipped by Paul Stanley. It's like they're
He's not honest.
They're like an old couple. Paul Stanley's like the prom queen at the slumber party, and she's like, Gene, kick them out. And Paul Stanley has like the guac makeup on his face. He has like his fingernails done. He's like,
okay,
Gene,
Travis,
I like how this is going.
I just had visions of Gene and Paul reenacting the final scene from Pretty in Pink. So let's not talk about Gene and Paul and proms. That's kind of like, because I just watched this documentary about the Brat Pack.
Oh, I saw that too. It was really good, right?
It was good, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to watch that, but I just haven't watched it yet.
All right, so.
Well, Travis, you said Gene, at least Gene's being honest. Gene's never fucking honest, dude. Come on, man.
Well, he did say in an interview in the 70s that he was not in it for integrity. He just wanted to get money and get laid.
Well, that's true. Yeah, but he fucking loves money too. He's still full of shit, man. he fucking has the fucking patent on the money bag symbol, man.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So Joseph Staub's not going to be here tonight. He said he's sorry. He's wiped out today. So let you guys know. So I got to get this story on, but I got to do it for Andy.
Joseph.
he's probably the only REM fan here because I got a story I know Metal Mike's going to go off on. I want to see that. I want to see a meltdown. So, Andy, REM performed live together the first time in 15 years at Surprise Songwriters Hall of Fame reunion.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect place for them to play a one-off show at the Songwriters Hall of Fame. They're great songwriters, but I don't want to. But I think Jerry had mentioned in Messenger to see if this is going to go any farther. I hope it doesn't, because this is a band we're just talking about integrity and about closing out on top. That's what REM did.
Well, that's what Michael Stipe said after that show, that they can't do it. It'll look like a money grab. Yeah.
So I hope they do this one off, and I'm sure they'll do fine because they've been professionals their whole lives. But I hope that they keep it that way, and then go back to what they were doing.
I agree with you totally on that. Michael Stipe did say that if this is a one-off after that show, there's not going to be any more. We don't want to look like those bands making a money grab. So
right.
And they're shot it down. Integrity, man. That's what's missing in music today. Integrity. Where the fuck happened to integrity in music?
And they're what's the other word I'm looking for? Their place in rock history is well in place.
Yes, that's what he said. He said it would ruin their stature if they came back.
And that's exactly where it should be.
And I'm glad that REM, unlike a lot of bands, I'm glad REM when they broke up, they actually stayed broken up.
They had the plan to break up. We want to make 3 great albums that we're proud of and go out with a bang. That's what they did.
Sure did.
They didn't do no phony baloney like biopic. They didn't do a reunion. They stuck to their guns.
Yeah.
And that sucks because I've never seen them. I would love to see them.
See them too. My friend saw them on the Green Tour. I was so jealous.
Oh, wow. Really? The Green Tour. That's a good album.
Fucking great. But you have any thoughts on REM, Jerry?
Nope.
Any thoughts on REM, Metal Mike?
Believe it or not, I'm not a hardcore REM fan, but I do like some of their tunes.
Nice.
That may surprise you that Metal Mike likes REM, but yeah,
it doesn't surprise me, Metal Mike, because people who love metal love all kinds of music.
Yes, sir.
I like REM.
Yeah, they had some good jams, man. They were a good band, and I think their legacy's kind of assured. And they've stuck to their guns, so I don't see them getting back. I think they'll do the one-off, and that's fine, But I don't have a problem with them doing that, and that's not really a money grab. That's just like them saying, "Hey, let's celebrate
for that honor."
Did.
Yeah,
and I mean, there's. Now, I'm sure to some of the younger fans out there, they might be a little disappointed because they've never got to see REM, and they probably would love to see them. But I also understand the why they wouldn't,
Yeah.
So yeah. But hey, I respect them at the end of the day, man. It's their choice. So I don't know why you think I was going to go on a meltdown about it.
No. The next story is.
Oh, the next story.
Next story. Travis, any thoughts on REM real quick?
I like REM. It's all good.
All right. So Metal Mike, you're going to take this one first because the band Metallica's Kirk Hammett says they're the real architects of metal.
No, Kurt, you're not. Okay. You're the architects of thrash metal. But no, you're not the real, you didn't, no, I disagree with that completely. I mean, I know even Black Sabbath don't really consider themselves a metal band, but the entire blueprint for heavy metal is in those early Sabbath albums. Sabbath created it and Judas Priest streamlined it. Because as heavy as Sabbath was, and they were incredibly heavy, they still were very rooted in that British blues. It was thick, but really doom metal, really. I mean, they definitely created doom metal, but Sabbath created metal, in my opinion, because, I mean, just everything about it, the subject matter, for one thing. Let's think about what was going on when Black Sabbath 1 came out. I mean, you got to look at the musical climate. And I wasn't even born yet. I was born on October 8th, 1970.
I was born a day
Came out
after.
February 13th, 1970. But a lot of it was make love, not war. And that's not what Sabbath was about at all.
He's
They were
number
like,
one.
"Hey,
I'm number two.
life sucks. And this is real life. And this is the way it really is. And we're not going to fucking candy coat it for you. Okay. And they would sing about dark things like Satanism and war and drug
Yeah,
addiction.
war.
I mean, look at Hand of Doom. I mean, it was just a totally different vibe. So with all due respect to Kirk Hammett, man, I mean, if you want to sit there and go, yeah, thrash metal for sure, Kill 'Em All, and even the band he was in before, Exodus, those guys are kind of the godfathers of thrash, if you want to get real technical about it. Exodus don't get near the credit they deserve. I mean, and to be really honest with you, as far as Bay Area thrash, it's Exodus, not Metallica. People have to remember, Metallica came from LA, left LA because nobody got them at the time. Nobody got Metallica then. And also, Cliff Burton said, you want me to join your band? You're going to have to move up north here. Metallica was like, okay. Also, when they got the enthusiastic response that they did get from the Bay Area fans, boom, they were transplanted. And yes, they did become part of the Bay Area scene. I'm not taking that away from them, but they were not from the Bay Area. Exodus was, and they were doing the same type. In fact, it was really weird because Exodus even said, he's like, whoa, these guys are like us. And Metallica felt the same way about them. And then eventually they got Kirk Hammett from Exodus to succeed or replace Dave Mustaine. So yeah, I mean, I have all the respect in the world, but no, he ain't the fucking architects of metal. Whatever he's smoking, he needs to quit.
Oh,
No,
man.
I mean, to me, that's very disrespectful to Black Sabbath, Judas Priest, and I don't know how many other fucking bands before them.
Motorhead.
That, by the way, Merciful Fate, Iron Maiden, Motorhead. Now, I know Motorhead, let me, we're rock and roll, but yeah, dude, you're rock and roll. I ain't going to argue with you about that. But, I mean, come on. Songs like Overkill, incredibly influential on thrash metal. Get the fuck out of here, Kurt.
Well, the article that I read, Kurt said that Black Sabbath were not but that Judas Priest was the blueprint for heavy metal. He didn't say Metallica. He said Judas Priest in that article.
Well, and people can make that argument. That's a different story altogether. If that's what he said, I go, okay, I kind of see what you're saying.
I thought he said he
still
was
don't
there
really
with
agree
them.
with that though. Because I mean, like I said, to me, I mean, Charles Trainer, oh, well, Priest perfected it. Look, you can use whatever terminology you want. I say streamlined. Because they just swept the blues out of it. And also the thing that set Priest apart from Sabbath, they had a twin guitar tag. They had two guitars.
They were technical.
Yeah, they were faster.
And they were faster.
Sabbath
More,
was slower, more painstakingly evil.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like Priest, hey man, if Sabbath are one, to me, Priest are 1A, and they're part of what I call the big, how you got the big four of thrash. To me, every genre of music kind of has a big four. If you want to get real technical about it. And to me, the big four of early UK hard rock and metal, Zeppelin, Sabbath, Purple, and Priest. You could maybe throw Uriah Heep in there too. Okay. But those four to me are the guys that literally laid the foundation down. Now I'm talking UK hard rock and metal. If we're going to go talk about the States, then you got to throw in Kiss, Aerosmith, bands like that.
And people are going to say this isn't metal. It was in the 70s.
Yeah, well,
hard rock. Yeah. Hard rock.
Yeah. Well, by today's standards, especially, but man, I'm just telling you, back in the day, man, a song like Parasite was pretty damn heavy in 1975. But you got to remember at that time, people didn't really know exactly what heavy metal was. Heavy metal and hard rock were like so close together. They really are. They're siblings to me. They're like sibling genres or whatever. So, I mean, it's all schematics. But no, if that's what Kirk said, then I won't get, but if he was saying Metallica, I'm like, whoa, dude.
I thought he said Metallica. I saw he mentioned Priest. I thought they were different level or something.
But me, I mean, hey, I give Priest all the. I mean, like I said, if Sabbath won, they're 1A in my opinion. Where
and it's so funny because I've seen Rob Halford do interviews, and he says Sabbath were the first ones.
Well, because they were both from Birmingham.
Yeah.
And Halford and them even said that they recorded their first album in the same studio that Black Sabbath did. They were very conscious and cognizant of that fact. They were like, yeah, they were very much like they wanted to be like Sabbath, but kind of put their stamp on it, which they totally did. Like I said, they streamlined it. They made it like, boom, we're going to go straight into the metal, man. And I think having that twin guitar attack definitely, it set them apart from Black Sabbath.
And it's so odd because they're so different. Black Sabbath and Judas Priest, they sound nothing alike.
Yeah, but they're both really heavy. But that's what I love about heavy metal is because you can be heavy in a lot of different ways. And metal, I mean, my God, look how many subgenres there are of it. Even to this day, it's ridiculous, man. I mean, they just keep coming up with more and more stuff.
Grindcore, deathcore,
it blows my mind, dude.
It's like they got progressive death now too, or
technical
brutal metal,
technical death metal, and dude, and not only that, but look at all the different. You got stoner metal, doom metal, stoner rock, doom rock, psychedelic rock, psychedelic metal, and a lot of it they mix it all together.
It's like what Billy Joel, man. It's still rock and roll to me.
There you go. And that's what I mean. At the end of the day, if it grabs me,
Billy Joel.
It's still rock and roll to me.
Hey, I love Billy Joel.
It's all rock and roll, man. It's all rock and roll. This all comes from rock and roll. This all comes from the blues. This all comes from
and
country
rock and roll
together.
Came from the blues. And
country.
Jazz and country and bluegrass.
Yeah, it's all rock
those
and roll,
four
man.
genres of music. You don't have rock and roll.
It's like the same thing with Lemmy said. Heavy metal is just an extension of rock and roll.
It is. Of course it is. And but you know what? You can make the same argument for a lot of genres. I mean, all the different, all that stuff. Yeah. Even rhythm and blues. Yeah. Or R&B, Motown, all of it was an extension of rock and roll.
Yeah.
I mean, even back in the day, rock and roll had different subgenres. I mean, what the fuck do you call doo-wop? Doo-wop's different from Chuck Berry, isn't it? But it's still rock and roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, man. So anything to say about Kirk Hammond? I guess I'm messing up Judas Priest.
Nah.
Nothing.
I'm good.
Okay.
You guys anything to say?
All right, man. Let's get to the list. So you want to say something?
All I gotta say is that all I gotta say about Kirk Hammond, I think that guy liner that he wore during the load reload era seeped into his brain. Started having weird thoughts after that.
Just found out that Willie Mays died.
Oh, bummer.
Really?
Damn,
that sucks.
Hey, there's our sports news for the night.
Well, rest in peace, Willie Mays, man.
Yeah, that dude was a player, man. Wow.
Oh, dude.
I like Willie Mays Hayes better. I'm joking.
I love that movie. That's one of my favorite movies ever.
There's our movie subject for the night.
I love the scene where he hit the pop up and he does the push ups.
Jerry's always talking about.
You may run like Mays, but you hit like shit.
Jerry's always talking about Joe Boo. That's his favorite joke.
Up your butt, Joe Boo.
Or like when he's stealing second and he slides and he's not quite there yet. And the dude's like, come on.
That is one of the best baseball movies ever.
I think it's a perfect film.
It's a perfect film, man. Tom Berenger, Charlie Sheen, Wild Thing. Fucking great movie.
Comedy, action, baseball. It had a little romance on the side.
It had everything,
It had everything. On the side. It showed a catcher with bad knees. You know,
a redemption.
Redemption.
A redemption for the hero.
Yeah.
It had it all. I love that. I love that ending. When he bunted, I was like, oh my God.
He calls for the home run and he bunts.
Yeah.
Looking awesome. Okay, Jerry. BS is done, dude. Get to it.
All right. Well, let's get to it, man. Our top 11 epic album enders. And since this is Mike's pick, we'll let him go first, man. Number 11.
All right, number 11, man. And This is one of my favorite albums of all time. Not a metal album. The Eagles, The Last Resort from Hotel California,
Oh,
man.
that's a
I
good
just
one.
absolutely adore this song. Love this album. It's a masterpiece. It's their Sergeant Pepper, in my opinion. And, just the whole message behind it, because, Don being the environmentally conscious guy he is, and I'm not like, it's weird. Like, I care about the environment, but I'm not like psychotic about it either, But the one line at the very end of the song where he says, if you call someplace paradise, kiss it goodbye. He's kind of right about that. Whenever, oh my God, people go nuts over this new place, I mean, I've seen it happen with Branson as a kid, how much that place had changed from when I was a little kid, Branson, Missouri. And you can name a lot of places like that. And the next thing you know, like that one line where he says they put up a bunch of ugly boxes and Jesus, people bought them. He's absolutely right. It's like, oh, there's a resort. Let's, a tourist attraction. Let's just fucking commercialize the fuck out of it. And in the case of Branson, turn it into the redneck version of Las Vegas without the gambling and the prostitution. Cool. And there you go.
All right, Andy, number 11.
Yeah, my number 11 is going to come off an album that it's their last good album. I'm talking about the band NoFX. I love NoFX. And they came out with an album, I think it was like in 2018, called Last Ditch Effort. And Fat Mike came clean and all that. And they ended that album with a song called Generation Z. And most NoFX songs are like no more than 2.5 minutes. They stretch this out to 6 minutes. And it's epically made towards the end. It talks about how society is changing right before our eyes and nobody seems to care. So
how do you spell that, Andy? No what? FX, like FX?
Yeah.
Like the letters?
Yeah, NoFX. The name of the album is Last Ditch Effort, and the song is called Generation Z. It's the last track. I get the album for the picture, but it's behind this chair.
Okay.
But yeah, man, it's a really good album actually. But it ends really strong with Generation Z by NoFX.
Cool. All right, Travis. Yeah.
All right. Well, I talked about this song in good detail last week. From the Doors' debut album, The End. I think it's just a great way to end the album. Just different passages, Jim Morrison spouting off poetry. When you first hear that song, you don't know where it's going. It goes in all sorts of directions. And near the end where he's like saying fuck over and over while Robbie Krieger's plucking those guitar strings. It's just a hypnotic tune. I love it. The Doors.
Robbie Krieger, underrated guitar player, man.
Oh, yeah. We talked about that last week.
That beginning, that intro to Spanish Caravan.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I love it.
That's some good flamingo guitar there, Eric.
Hell yeah.
Because Eric was talking about some flamingo guitar in the Overkill episode. So Eric, if you're watching, that's better. And he was on the episode last week, and I think he picked that song, did he?
Yeah.
Spanish Caravan. So fucking with you, Eric. But go ahead, Jerry.
All right, Mark, go ahead, man.
Oh, me? I'm gonna pick from the album pronounced Leonard Skinner, Freebird, which the girl I'm like talking to, Sexy Michelle, picked on that metalstation.com. Sorry, Mike. I'm on there, man.
Why are you apologizing?
I don't know. I feel like a traitor. But I asked you for your permission. All right. But she picked that for this week, but I'm just kind of burned out from like moving and shit. And I just want to relax tomorrow. So I didn't, and I'm gonna see her tomorrow night. So that's why I took the day off from the show, because I'm kind of burned off for doing all these shows. So Leonard Skinner, Freebird, man, that guitar solo, man. Remember that movie, that Cameron Crowe movie where the fucking band was up there and they were playing Freebird and the whole place was catching on fire, but they wouldn't stop till they finished that song? That was the best part of the movie, and the rest of the movie fucking sucked. I just liked that. They were just sitting there playing while the whole fucking auditorium was catching on fire, but they wouldn't stop because they were in the middle of Freebird. Fucking great song, man.
It is. it's a little, like you said, you could argue that it's played out, but there's a reason why.
Oh, but it's an epic track, and it's
It
great.
is. It's totally
every band would love to have a song that's played out. You know what I mean? So
for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
that's usually a good thing.
That's a great song. It's one of my favorites. Still.
Oh, it's
a beautiful
amazing.
song. Yeah.
I can't remember the movie. It's done by Kevin Crowe, and it had that dude who played the elf in Lord of the Rings. I forgot the name of the movie because it was that bad, but that scene stood out for the whole movie, and it was done. I'm done.
I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't seen that one.
All right, but keep going, Jerry.
All right, my number 11 is from the Great Metal Church. This is kind of ironic. It was Mike Howell's last song they recorded with the band before he killed himself, and the album is so true now politically, and what they say about religion on this album is so fucking true. I'm talking about the album "Damned If You Do." I'm talking about the song "The War Electric." Absolutely fucking love that song, dude. I'm telling you, man. I know I talk about Metal Church a lot, but I think they're one of the most underrated bands ever. All their singers they've had have been awesome. I mean, including their new one, Mark Lope's incredible. But man, fucking Mike Howell, man, he was my favorite, and I had to give him props for doing the War Electric because it was the last song he recorded with him. So that's my number.
What album is that from?
Damned If You Do.
And that movie Kevin Crowe did was called Elizabethtown in 2005. So if you guys could look up on YouTube the Freebird scene from that, it's hilarious.
It had Kirsten Dunst in it, I think.
But that Freebird scene is like the only part of the movie that's good.
Anyway, that's my number 11.
Most of his movies, but I've never even heard of that one. I love Almost Famous.
It was horrible, dude. But that Freebird, I'll find a clip from YouTube and send it to you guys. The only thing you need to see.
I mean, is it like an epic closer for all time? No, but for me, like I said, it was like I said, it was Mike's last song he recorded with the band.
Hey, bro,
so
it's your fucking list, man. And
Yeah.
can I tell you something?
And I think it was the first album. I think it was the first album.
Can I tell you something, Jared? It's in my honorable mentions.
One thing, I think it was the first one with Jeff played on drums too. I'm not 100% sure on that, but yeah, I think I am sure that is his first album.
If it makes you feel any better, that particular track was in my honorable mention. So
okay, cool.
Think alike.
I mean, yeah.
Hey,
anyway.
You know what kind of sucks? You know, when you get into bands when you're younger, you remember everything you read, like you, Jerry, with Metal Church. Like when I get into bands and I'm older now, you give me Metal Church. I love it. And I don't go look to see who plays on it anymore. It's just it's like I don't retain the newer memories as good as I did the older memories. It's weird because I know Mike Howell, but I don't know the new singer again. Mark something.
Mark Lopes.
Mark Lopes. Okay, there you go. See, I know
incredible. I mean, dude's just amazing, dude. He's a great singer, dude.
It's just weird.
I mean, the Congregation of Annihilation is fucking man. It's a fucking banger, dude.
Freeform Rock Podcast. Metal Mike was on that episode.
Anyway, Mike, number 10, man.
Did Travis go already?
No, I don't think or no,
at the end. Travis at the end.
Okay, it is my turn.
Jerry was last.
All right, man. Jimi Hendrix, Voodoo Child, Slight Return from Electric Ladyland. I mean, what can I say about this song that's not, it's like, I mean, just the intro, the lyrics too. And this song, even as a kid, always creeped me out because it was almost, if you read the lyrics, it's almost like Jimmy knew he was going to die young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when he's like, I'll see you in the next world and don't be late. And just a lot of it's just a phenomenal song, incredible guitar work. It's got everything. It's Jimi Hendrix. He rules. Enough said.
Nice.
All right, Andy.
Just this fight cut.
Here's that No Effects album I was telling you about. That's the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. My number 9 is going to be off the debut album by a band called simply The Band.
I know who the band are.
Yeah, it's off of song music from the Big Pink, and it was written by Bob Dylan. And Bob Dylan released it on his. It was never released on a proper album. It was on a compilations, but I Shall Be Released. It's a great song. The wistful kind of music that goes on during that track is fantastic. So, I Shall Be Released by the band.
Well, Andy, isn't it true? I've always read or heard somewhere that the band, the way they started out was they were Bob Dylan's backing band, and
Yeah.
then they kind of just formed their own, started doing their own music and became the band.
The band, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What they did was that they started off with Screaming Jay Hawkins in the late 50s.
Oh,
And
okay.
then and then they played on Dylan's. I think some of them played on Highway 61 Revisited, but I think all of them were pretty much on Blonde on Blonde.
Okay.
And then from there, they went on to form the band, and they were a strong unit for about 10 years.
Well,
A
my
very-
dad was a fan, so I'm somewhat familiar with them.
Yeah. There was a period there that I was just listening to the band constantly. But yeah, I still can't get away from them. They're a fantastic band. I like them quite a bit.
Cool.
So I shall be released.
All right, Travis.
All right. Well, this band has plenty of epic closing tracks, but the one I go to the most is it comes from A Farewell to Kings, Rush, Cygnus X1.
Nice.
What starts off? It's like kind of like an outer space sound effects, and you hear that bass coming through. It's just there's nothing I need to say about it. It's just a masterpiece, and I love that heavy passage in the middle. Where it goes da-da-da-da-da-da, and then you hear the chords. You hear the whole band just firing through. And then Geddy Lee just screaming his balls off at the end. Just amazing. So Rush, Cygnus X1.
A good one. I tried to pick a Rush because Al was supposed to be on here. So I tried to pick a Rush song that I hope he didn't pick. So that's a great pick though, Travis.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah.
Mark.
Oh, me. So I'm going to the album Don't Say No by Billy Squier, and that title track Don't Say No. There's so many rhythm changes, guitar solos, and the fucking drums are fucking great. Like, and I love this song, and it's like, fuck, I want more Billy Squier. And then Emotions in Motion came out. Fucking yeah. Love this fucking album, dude. It's one of my favorites, and I don't think Billy Squier gets enough attention. And I don't think none of you motherfuckers will pick him. So there you go.
Great album.
Yeah.
Great album.
Except for No One Knows. That song sucks.
All right.
I love that song.
Okay. Enjoy.
That last thing that he released a few years ago was just fucking terrible, dude.
I liked it.
Oh, it was terrible. But anyway, all right, how do you end an album that has Same Old Song and Dance, Lord of the Thighs, Train Kept Rolling, Seasons of Wither? How the fuck do you end that classic album with fucking Pandora's Box? That's how you fucking end that album. Man, what a great fucking tune that is, dude, man. Again, that's my favorite Aerosmith album. That's one of my favorite Aerosmith songs. Actually, Seasons of Wither is probably my favorite Aerosmith song, followed by Pandora's Box. But man, what a fucking great closer is, man. Aerosmith was so fucking on fire in the early 70s, dude, man. I mean, just fucking incredible. The whole album just rules, man. And what a great closer.
It's such a great, like, double entendre. Love that song.
Yeah, great song, man. Great pick, Jerry.
All right, we'll go with number 9 then. Mike.
All right. My number 9 is Megadeth Rust in Peace ... Polaris from Rust in Peace.
That's a good one. I should have picked that one.
Yeah, I mean, dude. What's there to say about this song or even this album that hadn't already been said? I mean, it's so awesome that there's literally a book just about the making of that album. Enough said. I mean, it's a masterpiece. I love it.
Andy, number 9.
Number 9, coming off of one of the biggest selling hard rock albums of all time. I'm talking about AC/DC's Back in Black. I am going with Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution.
Great song.
That great album, dude. That Black album. Yeah. I'm sorry, not Black, but that Back in Black is an amazing album, man.
Yeah.
I never get tired of that album. I don't. It is so good. So that's what I'm going with.
That's a fucking awesome tune, man.
That is
Yeah.
such a great track.
Great
What I love about can I say one thing about rock and rolling noise pollution?
Yeah.
I love that part where
and
he
then,
says,
and then go into your pick afterwards.
Sure. I get where it goes. I took a look inside your bedroom door. I see your body laying on your bed. That sounds sexual yet so sinister.
But the way Brian is singing it, it's like it's got some
Just-
rhythm to it, you know.
It's just such
Yeah.
it's great.
You said
Well,
you want to rock and roll instead.
Woo,
Baby.
man. Hey y'all, you middleman. All right.
That's a great
Well-
record to play when you're having sex. Just
Damn
saying.
right it is.
Back in Black, man. And Highway to Hell too. Highway to Hell too.
Well, technically-
Unlike the Black album, Back in Black I'll listen to all the fucking time.
I just got an episode idea. 11 albums you play during sex.
Ask Eric to be on that one.
No, it's sexy, right? All right, sorry, Jerry.
All
I got
right.
Travis.
album.
Oh yes, my number
Travis,
9. Well, technically, this is not the last song on the album, but the song that after it is it's not even 2 minutes long. It's an instrumental. So I'm going from Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 1, Halloween with Halloween.
Nice.
It's epic. It just kicks ass. Michael Kiske sings his ass off on that song. What a way to end the album, like lyric. It's just a great song. Love it to death.
We also
One of
did
my
that
favorite
episode.
albums of all.
We also did that episode on Freeform. Wasn't Mike on there too?
Yep. He was on that
Yeah,
one
so
too.
we done that album on Freeform. Check out in the archives.
One of my favorite albums of all time.
I think the Keeper of Seven Keys Part 2 is better in my opinion, but yeah, the first one is
Well,
so
we got to
good,
do
man.
that with Metal Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in the works. Remember?
That's just my opinion, but it's a great fucking album.
And
Travis.
any
You
Metal
love it.
Church album, Mike has to be on too.
Well, I appreciate that, guys.
If you guys,
All right,
if
Mark.
you guys do the dark, I'll definitely be on that.
Oh,
Dude, I love that
if
fucking
you
album.
know me, you know where I'm going. I haven't said any of these bands in this episode yet, and one of them's gonna happen. The other one won't. But I'll just say no Oingo Boingo will be brought up in this episode. But Duran Duran from the album
Oh.
Rio, The Chauffeur. I fucking love that song. It just
I don't know, and I couldn't tell you if I like
it just goes sing, sing, blue silver. It's just so ominous and dark. The song is just fucking, it's not pop. It's just like fucking dark fucking shit what he's singing about. Fucking, I don't care what anybody says about Duran Duran. They're fucking great musicians. They can fucking write lyrics. They ain't fucking stupid, and they can fucking play. They're a real band, and they can still play today. So The Chauffeur from the album that ends the album Rio. Fucking my favorite song of all time by Duran Duran. In fact, I love that fucking song.
All right.
All right. All right. This might be the first controversial pick of the night. I mean, if it was on the album, it takes
Duran
up the whole
Duran,
side.
was it?
But a CD, it's the last song on the CD. I'm going with Echoes by Pink Floyd off the album Metal, man. I mean,
Yeah.
fucking incredible. I mean, we talked about this. What was it last week? You did talk about Echoes?
Yeah, 11 weeks. It'll be out. We did 3 albums by Pink Floyd in one.
That's right. Yeah. Oh, dude, man. I
be
love
on
how
the
Rick. Yeah, I love how Rick and Dave's voice sound together. The harmonization of that. I love all the crazy shit happening. In the middle. It's a headphone song, dude. I'll tell you. I'll give you that much. You have to have headphones on. Listen to that song because there's all kinds of shit going on. But yeah, it's like 19 minutes of bliss for me. I love fucking Echoes, dude. So that's my number 9. All right, number 8, Mike.
Slayer, Raining Blood from Rain in Blood. I mean,
Oh yeah.
come on. The antithesis of Mark's pick. But with that being said, and everybody, I am not a Duran Duran fan at all, but I would never, nor will I ever disparage their musicianship. They're talented. They are very talented. It just doesn't grab me. Is the best
That's
way I
fine.
can describe it. But no, I've always been, because I mean, it's hard for me to go, well, that guy sucks on guitar because you know what? He's better than me. I can't play guitar to save my life. So it's like, I don't ever, but no, I mean, I had a buddy of mine who went to this like drum clinic thing. Like it was like this event where there was a bunch of different drummers, and one of them was your boy Neil Peart, and the other guy was the dude from Duran Duran. And Corey was, and he loved
Roger
Rush,
Taylor.
but he was like, Mike, I got to be honest with you, man. He goes, that dude from Duran Duran gave Neil a run for his fucking money. He was that good. Like, he goes, he might have even been better than Neil that night. And I'm like, hey, just because I don't like their music doesn't mean they can't play. Most of those guys could play where the fuck they want to play. You know, they're professional musicians, you know, and yeah, you know, most of those dudes in a lot of those bands that even I don't like, I would never say, well, man, that guy can't play or he can't ride or he can, you know, just because it doesn't grab me.
But it's funny that like Kiss people, they like I Was Made for Love You, some people didn't. But when Duran Duran went to changes, they kind of did disco and they went funk. The thing is, I still liked it because the band was playing and I like LeBon's voice. His voice is like ear candy to me.
Well, and that's cool, man.
And so I get the nerdum, but I'm not going to down people for making fun of it, you know?
Right. Yeah. I mean, hey, like I said, you know, they sold a million records, man. I mean, they're a big deal. They were a big deal.
They're still selling out arenas.
Yeah, I'm not going to take that away from them. You know, I mean, it's like, just because I don't dig it. See, like if I was in charge of a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I wouldn't even induct artists that I don't particularly care for just because, like Duran Duran, that's a band that they've stood the test of time. They've had a Hall of Fame career, period. My biggest complaint with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, though, is the fact they call it the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame when they induct bands and artists that clearly aren't. They ought to just call it the American Music Hall of Fame and be done with it. But that's a whole other rant. Anyway, I'm done.
All right, Andy.
What number are we on?
Our number 8.
My number 8 is going to be Deep Purple, Space Truckin' off of Machine Head.
Nice.
Now that's an epic track. I mean, dude, you just it kills. Especially, my favorite part has always been in Deep Purple is when John Lord and Richie Blackmore come together and play and intertwine each other. And that's what they do quite a bit on Space Truckin'. So Deep Purple, Space Truckin'. My number 8.
I'm just wondering,
Andy, you're a man after my own heart.
Andy, I'm just wondering if me and your number 1 will match. I'm just wondering.
I don't know, but we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah.
All right, Travis.
All right. Well, this comes from one of my favorite bands of all time, easily in my top 10. And Ian, if you ever watch this video, you're probably gonna shake your head. UFO, Love to Love from Lights Out.
He hates that.
Love this band. Love this song. Phil Mogg sings terrifically on this. Michael Schenker just shreds melodically, and then he just gets furious at the end. What a great constructed song. What a great way to end Lights Out. UFO, Love to Love.
Awesome. Mark.
I'm gonna go for another group that people don't like. Maybe Andy. You might, because this was before the album you didn't like after that album. But I'm going from The Unforgettable Fire, Bad by U2. Fucking love that fucking song. If you
that song every time it comes on, bro, I start speeding, roll down the window.
The fucking emotion by Bono in that fucking song.
Oh my god,
fucking amazing. Fucking love it. And Bob Hayes like creaming in his pants right now. But I fucking love this song, man. Yeah. It's one of my live, any version of it. Fucking Wide Awake in America live version. It's just fucking amazing. Yeah. It's just one of the best songs of all time to me.
Yeah. Cool. I really like the version when they're showing it that they did at Red Rocks. Yeah. Oh man, with the fog or the smoke or whatever it was coming from
amazing.
The crowd was probably cold as hell as well. And the dude's just hanging. Oh my god, dude. And if you know, rock and roll music will never be like that again.
No.
We were so lucky to see iconic acts in our lifetime. Because that's not going to happen anymore, man. It just doesn't. Hate to say that.
All right. My number, what are we on? 8? I agree with Mike. Raining Blood, off one of the best thrash album ever, in my opinion. Anyway, did you know that song was actually covered by Tori Amos?
I don't like Slayer or Tori Amos, so there you go.
I'm just saying, it's like
that's like, a wow, double whammy for me.
It's like Tori Amos doing a cover of her Slayer song. It's like, wow, it's just, I heard it. I remember hearing it. And I'm like, this sounds familiar, and sure enough, that's what it was. But yeah, I mean, that's the ultimate fucking ending to the best thrash metal album ever, in my opinion. Hands down, that had to be on my list. Raining Blood by Slayer. Yes. Number 7, Mike.
Damage Inc. by Metallica from Master of Puppets. Woo! Not only is it the most epic closing track, it's probably my all-time favorite Metallica track. That's how much I
agree with you on Mike. Song. We both love that song, dude.
Oh, it's just, dude, it's just face melting thrash at its finest. It's like getting it in the fucking face with a fucking sledgehammer. Yeah, it's just so bad.
I'm slapping myself because I forgot about it.
Hey, man, I'll tell you what. There's some of you guys have mentioned ones that are in my honorable mentions where I'm like, fuck, I should have had that on the list. Like, there's a few that I'm thinking, yeah, I should have had. Yeah, well,
it wasn't Duran Duran, no.
No. But I respect you about that, Mark.
Thanks. Hey.
But yeah, man, I mean, Damage Inc. It's just a master. I mean, but that's my all-time favorite Metallica album. That's my all-time favorite song. It's like it is when I think of epic closing tracks, that's what that's what Daddy's talking about. Okay. Like it just smacks you right in your ear hole.
All right, Andy.
Yeah, my next one, number 7, right? I believe.
Yep.
It ends a debut album, and we talked about this band already earlier. Kiss, close it off. Their debut album with Black Diamond.
I love that song,
and I love the boom.
I love that part.
That is a kick-ass Kiss song.
See, I could do without that. I like how they did it on Double Platinum. They just did they ended it differently, better on Double Platinum, in my opinion.
Oh, dude, I love that ending.
Me too. I love that part. It sounds like
now when they do that live, it's badass. But man, it gets real slow. It's like, dude,
lots of Kiss.
But that might be on my list too. But we'll see. I know.
I love that part so much.
I love it. I mean, that's the best part of the song.
Hey, fucking Pete's voice on that is fucking awesome, dude.
I just want to say a shout out, Chris Elio from Red Beard Videos. If you're watching, put your list on the page. I want to know what your top 11 is.
All right, Black Diamond from Kiss. Travis.
All right, so I had a song on my number 7, but I actually switched it out at the last minute because I forgot to add Blue Oyster Cult to my list. And from Spectres, here is Nosferatu.
Ooh, nice one.
I love that song to death. It is so haunting, but yet so beautiful. What a great way to end the album. I either would have ended it with either I Love the Night or with Nosferatu. Either way, I would have been satisfied. But Nosferatu is just an amazing album closer.
Good. All right, Mark.
All right. No, I didn't pick What It Takes, but I did pick an Aerosmith song. I didn't pick that one because that one bores me for some reason. But Aerosmith from Toys in the Attic, You See Me Crying.
Great song.
It's fucking just great fucking emotion by Steven on that. The piano and just the way he sings in a different tone than he did on the whole album. It's like raspy and raw. It's like raw. His vocals, you can hear his emotion. It's just fucking, the song gets me every time I hear it. I kind of double play it. Fucking love it.
I love when he does that. When he changes his voice for a certain song.
Yeah, it's like I can't do it.
He's a master at it.
Yep.
All right, my number 7 is the last song ever recorded by Jim Morrison from The Doors. Riders on the Storm, man, from LA Woman.
Oh, yeah.
Another fucking epic track. You know, like I said, it's the last track Jim sung with them, so that's got to count for some epicness, in my opinion. And
Gotta
just
be.
the song, just the lyrics and the music behind it is so enthralling, dude. It's amazing, dude. Great track. That's my favorite Doors album, actually. LA Woman. I think
I
it's
love
just
LA Woman.
fucking
Yeah.
LA
brilliant,
Woman
man. From
rules,
start to
yeah.
finish.
High Grant House, fucking Texas Radio and the Big Beat. Fucking, that is my favorite Doors
The
album.
title track is amazing.
Yeah,
Fucking
they had a
yeah.
bass player on that album too, so it kind of
I
gave it more
know.
depth. Yeah,
L'America, L'America.
America. Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, what more can we say about that song and that whole album, dude? Except the whole album is fucking epic, but that's a classic ending in my opinion.
It is. It is.
All right, number 6, Mike.
Dio, Shame on the Night.
Oh,
Holy
good one.
diver.
Oh
I
wow,
mean,
yeah.
Man, what a great album, masterpiece of an album from beginning to end. I've always said that for me and my brothers, being the biggest Sabbath freaks we were, 1983 was a huge year for us because, you know, even though we were bummed out that Dio had left that version of Sabbath and Vinny went with him, they released Holy Diver, Ozzy has Bark the Moon, but then Sabbath, you know, do Born Again with Ian Gillan. Holy fuck, man. We bought all 3 of those albums and just jammed on all of them that entire year, man.
They were all so good.
They were great. They were all great, man. And yeah, I mean, man, Holy Diver though, what a great debut album. Like I said, there's not a bad track on it, but this song it's just so epic, man, especially at the very end with the Holger. Oh, I love shit like that, man. And you know, yeah, Dio's just singing his little ass off.
it's like a haunting song, dude.
It is. It's very
It's kind of
haunting.
like something Ozzy would have did on Blizzard, kind of a little bit, if you think about it.
I would think of another song beside, you know, I mean, I know what you're saying, but yeah. But I love this song, man. Great fucking song.
Great track. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Great track. Andy.
Yeah, I am going with, I don't know if this is going to be allowed because it's 2 songs, but you can't hear one song without the other. You just can't. It's unnatural to hear it that way. Talking about Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon, Brain Damage, and then Eclipse.
Absolutely, that counts.
Yeah,
Because I mean, I know that there's 2 titles and they are listed differently. I almost didn't put it on here because they're listed as separate tracks, but dude, you can't hear one without the other. You just can't.
Yeah.
So I'm going with Brain Damage and Eclipse. Man, what
I'm like that about I'm not only am I like that about those songs, but I'm like that about a lot of stuff. Like I can't hear Motley Crue Shout the Devil without hearing in the beginning before it. I can, but Metallica's Whiplash, I gotta hear Anesthesia Pulling Teeth before it. There's just certain tracks I feel that way about, you know, where to me it's almost like, you know,
Beyond the Black into Metal Church.
Yeah.
Heartbreaker, Live and Love and Made. Yeah.
There's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of them. You know what? Ozzy Osbourne's Revelation Mother Earth and Steal Away the Night. I cannot hear those 2 songs set. I have to hear them together.
I love Mother Earth. Oh man, what a great track.
Oh, it's fucking amazing.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
somebody called it a hippie track on this.
Yeah.
I wonder who.
Yeah.
I don't know. Somebody didn't like that song.
I know who did.
All right, I'm just joking.
All right,
knows,
Travis,
too?
you're next, man.
Well, mine is a twofer, and they don't go together. They're from 2 different albums, but they're from the same band. But these songs are so perfect I can't choose between them both. From Yes, from Fragile, Heart of the Sunrise, and from Close to the Edge, Siberian Katru. I think they're both perfect. They're both perfect. I can't choose between them both, so they're sharing the number 6 spot for me. I love
And
Yes.
it's hard to pick the album that I like better because I like them both, and they're so different. Good pick,
right.
Travis.
All right, Mark.
Thank you.
All right, so I hope you didn't pick this one, Jerry. I'm kind of counting on you picked another song by this band, but kind of hoping you didn't copy me or I copied you. Led Zeppelin, The Ocean. I fucking love that song off Houses of the Holy, man. It's just a singing to an ocean. I hear the ocean. Just fucking, it just such a, it puts such a thing in your mind about him singing to an audience. It's the ocean. I fucking love this song. It's one of the best album closers ever. It fucking makes up so much for that fucking crunch shit. But
I love the crunch.
I know you do.
I love it.
I always gotta get a punch to that song, okay?
Yeah, I know you.
The only bad songs up in the heads is Carousel Umbra. Every
I
other
like
song
that
is
one.
fun.
You see, I don't like Dire Maker. God,
I love Jamaica. I love that song.
Oh no.
Oh.
All right.
The only part I don't like about that song is when Robert Plant does that at the end. But I love Jamaica.
All right, yeah. I'm double dipping here. I'm double dipping with the Doors because they're both fucking classic enders, in my opinion. What Travis, I think, mentioned it earlier, the end off their debut album.
That's
I
right.
mean, it's such a man, what a fucking crude tune. And you talking about poetry, man. That song was nothing but poetry, man. Jim Morrison, one of the best lyricists of our time. Well, I guess technically, maybe he's before our time. I don't know what the fuck you call it. I wasn't alive when he came
born in
out.
70, so he's before our time.
Okay, before our time. Anyway, one of the best bands ever. It was so fucking fun doing that show last week on the Doors. But again, I was either gonna pick between one or the other, but I said fuck it, I'm picking both of them because I think they're both epic enders. So anyway, that's my number 6. Number 5, Mike.
What was the other one? I heard the end. What was the other one?
Riders on the Storm.
Oh, okay.
I thought a woman, yeah. All right, Mike.
All right, number 5. Iron Maiden, hallowed be thy name from Number of the Beast. I don't think it gets more epic than that.
We might have multiple picks on this song.
Yeah. Just from the very beginning, the melancholy beginning with the bell and Bruce's vocals, and he hits that high note, and it just takes off, and it's just, yeah, it's epic. It's just epic, man. Machine Head does an amazing cover of this. So, I don't know if you guys are into Machine Head, but if you are, you need to check it out. They did a great job.
I think Ice Earth did a cover of it too. That was pretty good.
They did. They did. Ice Earth did do one as well.
Yeah, I was really impressed that Rob Flynn was able to hit that note that Bruce does with that, where he's like, "No," and it just goes on for fucking ever. Yeah. Just a great song. What can I say? Not my favorite Maiden album, but my favorite closing track of theirs.
It kind of seemed like years after that, Maiden tried to keep on trying to make that track again.
Oh, sure, for sure. And they couldn't. You can't top it.
No.
All right, Andy.
Yeah, my number 5.
Yep.
Right. Okay. Geez, hold on. I'm so sorry to keep on doing this. My number 5. Oh, geez, I had to stop in my head. Y'all know I'm going to have a Neil Young song on here.
Yeah, I know.
But had like 50 something albums to choose from. But I went with one we all know and love, off of the album Freedom, "Rockin' in the Free World."
A great song.
Oh, okay.
Dude, he jams on that track.
Keep on rocking in the free
world. I thought you were going to say "Cowgirl in the Sand" for a second.
You know what?
But,
that would have been good too. That would have been a good one too. In fact, there was quite a few that I could have gone with. But I went with this one because I'm always talking about his 70s music. I thought I'd dip into 1990. And we all know that that album starts off with "Rockin' the Free World" acoustic. And then it ends with "Crazy Horse."
Mm-hmm.
So again, doing the double-headed sword just like he did with Live Rust. I was going to ask you, Mike, y'all were in Toronto a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, sir.
And Neil Young was playing.
I know. We didn't know about it till after the fact, man. And I'm like, damn it. Because I love Neil Young. My dad was a big Neil Young. Well, he still is a big Neil Young fan. And Bildo, my co-host, he's not the bit, he likes a few of his songs. Oh, I don't like his voice. I'm like, dude, don't be a bitch. But that's
Yeah,
just
because I wasn't too sure if y'all were gonna go to it, because one of
no,
our
no, we didn't. I didn't really know about it until I got there. Another thing that kind of bummed me out about it was um there was a couple of people. There were a couple. They live in Toronto. I knew they were Canadian. But I'd forgotten that they actually lived in Toronto. And I wish I had known, because if I had of, I would have said, hey, let's go meet out somewhere. And that's Connor Stratton and his lovely gal, Trinity AR. They've always been really super sweet to me on Facebook and on the various Facebook page or group pages and stuff, and just really cool couple. And they were all like, oh, well, have fun, make sure you get poutine and and all that. And I went back and forth with them, and then it dawned on me, oh shit, you guys live here. I wish I had known, because by the time I had realized it,
that they were there. Yeah.
I was ready to leave, or I would have made it a point to go, hey, let's go meet up for drinks or something, because just really, really super sweet people, big supporters of what I do at Cranium Radio and what the podcasting and our fellow podcasters, just really good people, man. So yeah.
One of our fellow podcasters, William Toth, who's been on Black Spinner several times, and we share the love of Neil and Rush.
Neil's great, man. Neil's great.
He was at that Toronto show.
Oh wow, cool.
He was telling me that morning, because he lives just outside Toronto. So
well, there was another. What was it? Somebody else Canadian was playing there, and they had a guest appearance by it was I think they called themselves they used their initials, but it was Alex Lifeson and Geddy Lee. And they went out and actually did a few Rush songs, Mark. And nobody knew, because they weren't calling themselves Alex and Geddy or whatever. And I think they called themselves L and L. It was Lee and Lifeson. And they came out and everybody went nuts. Wow. And I was like, oh man, I wish I'd known, but there was no way to know, because they didn't really tell anybody ahead. It was a surprise.
That's where they live.
But I'm like, well, man, I'd be cool if they went out and toured as L and L.
Yeah, I would too.
Oh yeah,
I'd be all right with that.
But who do you put as drummer though? That's the hard question.
Well, I don't know, man. He's back in Dream Theater.
Like, who do you put there?
Well, it's not Rush, so it probably isn't that difficult.
You could get that drummer.
If they called it Rush. Oh, I don't think
they're not going to do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't think Neil is replaceable, but if it's not Rush, they could probably.
If they called it L and L or Lee and Lifeson or Lifeson and Lee, they could get any drummer they wanted.
Right.
And I think they could find somebody.
They could get Tony Carey from Tool or the guy from Primus.
Yeah,
Primus plays Rush songs all the time.
You just mentioned him. Portnoy could probably do it too.
Well, he's back in Dream Theater.
I know, but
he ain't gonna leave that again.
All right, where are we at? I think we're on Travis's pick, right?
Yep.
Number 5, Travis.
I think we're on Andy. You went right.
Yeah, he did Neil Young.
Perfect. Well, my last pick was Yes, so I'm sticking with another prog band. The birth of prog rock began with this album. From In the Court of the Crimson King from King Crimson, the title track, In the Court of the Crimson King. So many great passages in this song. Greg Lake's melodic vocals. It's just so beautiful. And yet it's so haunting. I love this track.
Yeah, I'm taking kind of a deep dive into them right now. I wasn't 100% familiar with them, but I'm liking what I'm hearing so far.
I'm a huge fan of King Crimson. They're amazing.
Cool band.
Yeah, they are. What about Dave Grohl as playing with them? What do y'all think about that?
Wow, you know what? If they got Dave, one thing's for sure. I mean, I think a lot of people would go anyway because Rush is one of those bands that have just a huge fan base. But you throw Dave Grohl in there too, it would attract a lot of different people. They would sell out like that.
Do you think he could play that stuff though? He's more of a
I don't
slam
know.
drummer.
Dave's pretty talented dude. He's, I mean, he really is. I think maybe. I mean, I don't know. You'd have to ask him.
Yeah.
Hey, can you pull, Neil Peart off?
And that he'll do it very respectfully.
Or find some unknown, but when you hear him play, it just blows you the fuck away. That would be awesome, I think.
Like someone from a Rush tribute band. You know what I mean?
There you go. Yeah. I mean, look, man. I mean, there's a lot of amazing drummers, man. Some of them I've seen on YouTube, and I guarantee you they could probably do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But
All right, Mark. Sorry.
Yeah, my turn.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna go because I thought Al would be on here. And you already picked a Rush song that I thought Al would pick. So I went, one of my favorite Rush albums is fucking one of the 80s ones, man. I love Grace Under Pressure. I love sci-fi, and this album tells a fucking story, and it ends with Between the Wheels. Puts such a fucking imagery. You know how that rabbit feels going under your speeding wheels. Bright images flashing by like windshields told to fly. You're frozen in that fatal climb, and the wheels of time just pass you by. Fucking just that fucking one lyric there just makes the whole song, and there's more lyrics to that shit. Fucking what a great fucking ending. It's just fast. It just ends the album and you go, fuck, I want more. Love that album.
Great. I would have also went with Countdown. Signals.
Countdown's a great one too, but I was thinking Al and you possibly. Fucking getting these deeper. I wanted to get something I didn't think you guys would pick that I love. So
all right.
Between the Wheels by Rush, Grace Under Pressure.
All right. Yeah, I'll probably get a little flack for this one, but it's cool. It's my favorite Sabbath album. I love Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. And I think Spiral Architect is a fucking amazing tune, dude. I fucking love the acoustic track on it. I think it's Ozzy's best vocal, in my opinion, of all time. It's just a great flowing song. And it's a great fucking driving song. It's slow and it's ominous, but man, it's a great song to drive to, I swear. It won't push you to sleep while you're driving. But
I love it.
Yeah. I know it's not exactly what we call a rocker to end an album, but man, I think it's one of their best songs, dude. It's my favorite album, so I had to include that one in there.
Fantastic.
Great choice.
All right, number 4, Mike.
Led Zeppelin, When the Levee Breaks, from Zozo.
That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, talk about taking a cover song and making it yours. And I got kind of a funny story to go along with this song, man. I live in the metro East St. Louis area, the Illinois side. So the mighty Mississippi, it divides right where we're at from Missouri. And we had a flood in 1993. The flood of 93, man, flooded a big portion of Alton. And I, at the time, was working at a healthcare facility for mentally disabled people called Beverly Farm. And a bunch of us, we would volunteer and sandbag. And me and my buddy Brian, man, we called KC95, which was our local rock station, said, dude, we want to hear what Led Zeppelin's The Levee Breaks. And the DJ's like, dude, I'm not playing that song. That's in bad taste, man. What the hell's wrong with you guys? And I'm like, man, you don't understand, dude. We're out here bagging. We're sandbagging. We're trying to save this part of Alton. We're busting our ass. We want to fucking rock, but we're also want to fucking be aware of our situation, man, because the levee is breaking and we're going to do everything we can to stop it. And he was like, all right, brother, in that case, I'll go ahead and play it. He gets on there and goes, I wasn't going to play this song because I thought it'd be a bad taste, but this goes out to the guys sandbagging in Alton, Illinois. This is Led Zeppelin, When the Levee Breaks, man. And we crank that bitch and we're sandbagging to it and we're like, fuck it, man. And it's just a great song, like I said, man. The drumming by Bonham and just everything about it is just badass.
I think it's one of the most sampled beats too.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's
Beastie
just,
Boys.
Well, Beastie Boys, I think, used the drumming from it and the riff from Sweet Leaf by Black Sabbath
Yeah.
in the same song. So you
Damn.
got Sabbath's na 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 with that drum beat from when the levee breaks. But yeah, just an amazing song, man. Amazing. They did an amazing job on it. Because to me, I'm a big believer, if you're going to do a cover, it's just kind of like if somebody's going to do a remake of a film, put your spin on it. I don't want to see the same thing that I saw before. Don't want to hear the exact same song. I want to hear your spin on it. And they definitely put their spin on that track.
All right, Andy.
Yeah, my number 4 is going to come off of my favorite Black Sabbath album, Paranoid. And
Ooh.
it's another double track, kind of, not really, but Jack the Stripper going into
Fairies Wear Boots.
Yeah.
Such a great song to end one of the greatest albums of all time.
You know, the funny thing is
all that you do.
Apparently that was one of the songs where Ozzy wrote the lyrics, because Ozzy talks about it in his book, where they're like, well, you wrote the lyrics to that, Ozzy. Ozzy's like, I did. I don't remember that. Which it is a very funny song too, especially that part where he's talking, where he goes, well, I went to the doctor to see what he could give me. He said, son, you've gone too far, because smoking and tripping is all
that you do. That's great.
Yeah. And just Bill Ward's drumming that bum 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 bum, you know.
Yeah.
Again, brought that like swing. I was listening to a Sabbath podcast, believe it or not, called Into the Void, where they review not just all the Black Sabbath albums, but all anybody who was associated with Sabbath. So they did all of Ozzy's, Dio's, whatnot. And when they talked about Bill Ward, I thought the dude hit it on the head. He goes, dude, to me, he's like John Bonham meeting Keith Moon. He's got the heaviness of Bonham and the chaotic craziness of Keith Moon. And I was like, wow, I never really thought about that way, because I've always felt when it comes to the old school drummers, I don't think Bill Ward really gets the love or the credit that he deserves.
He had a groove, man.
He gets kind of overshadowed by your Bonhams and your Keith Moons and all those guys. And I agree, Mark. He totally grooved.
He grooved.
Yeah,
he's always
awesome.
grooved. And when Vinny came into Sabbath, it was different. It was more like more Bonham, not.
Well, I mean, and to be honest with you, I think especially once Bill left, even though I do think Bill's drumming, I gotta be honest with you, on Heaven and Hell doesn't really sound like his drumming to me. It's not. Because I think Ronnie just had that big of an effect on that band. You know, it's like, again, man, it changed. To me, I mean, they got Martin Birch to produce their album, very no-wobblim, even though obviously Sabbath wasn't a new wave of heavy metal band, but that version of the band, the Heaven and Hell version, definitely, I think it was different from the other Sabbath, you know?
Yeah. I think Bill Ward was more streamlined, just a regular drummer, keep the beat. And when early days, he was.
That's what I mean. Like if you listen,
kind of like Nick Mason when they took the drums away from him.
Yeah.
But somebody said that playing Bill Ward's parts is like an exercise.
Oh, I bet it is.
Yeah. He's just not playing the same thing. He had a different kind of feel to him. Somebody says it's Murder playing Iron Man. I go, what?
Well, and the reason also, I don't know if you know this, Mark, but Bill's been quoted as saying he doesn't really even remember recording Heaven and Hell.
Yeah.
Like he said, I was so out of it emotionally that I was just kind of like going through the motions.
Because he was pissed off about
you wouldn't know it.
Ozzy.
He sounds great on the record, but I do think he is drumming differently on it than he did with Ozzy era. And then when Vinny comes in, I mean, it is a different band by that point, you know? So, and I love Vinny Appice. So again, it's part of the Black Sabbath family tree. So it's all fucking awesome as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, you know, Bill Ward, very underrated.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Great pick, Andy.
Oh, thank you.
All right, Travis.
All right, number 4. Well, just when you thought when Iron Maiden does the title track, the Power Slave, you're like, oh, they can't get any better than that. And then Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner follows right afterwards, man. Amazing. Water everywhere. Love that. Love it. My favorite Iron Maiden epic.
That's a
Just-
great one, man. And you
Great
know, it's
one.
funny. I remember, and it was after Book of Souls come out, and this young guy, he had messaged me, dude, this is the best Iron Maiden album, and I forget what song, but it's better than Rime of the Ancient Mariner. And I hadn't heard the album yet, and I just said, buddy, that's a bold fucking statement. That's a
Very
bold
bold.
statement.
That's
You know,
very bold.
but hey, man, that's cool. I mean, yeah, hey, he's a younger dude, and if you, hey, you're listening to Maiden, so to me, that's a cool thing. You know, whether
Right.
Yeah.
you know, I'm not gonna bag on it, but yeah, I was just like, in fact, I remember saying that, and my buddy Eric Waters, who I call the Mopar man, because he's a car enthusiast and he restores like old, you know, school Mopars. You know, he was like, turned around, he's like, that's a bold fucking statement. I said, that's what I said, man. You know, great pick.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Mark.
I'm gonna go. Metal Mike already picked this. Hallowed Be Thy Name by Iron Maiden. Fucking one of the best closers fucking ever. It's like so theatrical, fucking describing a man going to the gallows pole. You know, the priest reads him his last rites. And it's like it starts all slow, and then he goes, when the priest gives me, it's just like a rhythm. It's like frantic. You could hear his fucking nervousness. At
Oh,
first,
yeah.
he's waiting, and when the priest comes, he's getting more frantic and nervous and nervous. You could hear that in Bruce's
Well,
voice.
you can feel the dread that then goes into fear and panic.
Yes, you could hear that.
Yeah.
Fucking
And his big
amazing.
live, I'm not afraid of dying. What
Yeah,
a liar. Everybody's
know.
afraid of dying,
yeah.
especially
just-
like that. Being hung.
It's
Well,
just
I
the
love
way Bruce is singing it, you're feeling the song and the
Rapid
music going
fire,
behind
yeah.
it. Bruce makes that song for me. It's Bruce that directs me through that whole fucking
Yeah.
song. I love
That's
it.
why I don't get all the Bruce hate lately. I mean, there's a lot of Bruce hate lately on the.
I can
I
That's just
know,
people-
man.
I just don't get it, man. I
I
mean,
like Deanno too, but I like Bruce better. No,
Well, here's my thing. If you prefer one over the other, that's fine. I love them both personally.
exactly.
I do
but-
too.
But I'm like, I don't understand why people, and they do the same thing with Ozzy and Dio, and it just drives me bonkers. It's cool if you prefer one over the other, but when you have to disparage one to elevate the other,
Right.
fucking stop, man. I get tired of it. I'm just like, whatever, you know.
Just
I mean-
enjoy the music, man. It's like, damn.
Right. You know, like, you know, and if you don't like it, that's fine. I mean, I'm not telling you, but I'm just like, I don't understand why you got to be like, well, I got to put this fucker down to elevate this fucker.
Right.
No, you don't. Got news for you guys. Ozzy nor Dio needs anyone to fucking elevate them. They're Ozzy and
No.
Dio, for
Yeah.
fuck's sake.
Damn right.
I know, right? It's like two of the greatest heavy metal vocalists
Yeah.
of all time. They
Yeah,
don't need us.
greatest, both
hopping
of them
over.
great, amazing frontmen on top of being
Yeah,
great
oh, yeah.
vocalists. Just, I mean, could get a crowd in the fucking, wow, you know. Yeah, come on, get the fuck out of here with that shit. And you know,
Hey,
Mike,
Piano
good
rules,
man. You're a good
Dickinson
man, Mike.
rules, man.
Hey, we did a
Good
review on
man, Mike.
Ozzy's last album on your show, The Plug. That was pretty cool, man.
It was. I had a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah.
Mike,
All
I
right.
couldn't agree with you more.
I just wanted to plug the plug. So when they
Yeah.
come
Like
back
I
on,
said, it's
when they
cool.
come back on, people know they're still around.
Yeah, no shit. We're still there, folks. I
I
guess
just
we're
want
just
to make
kinda
sure people do
on
that.
a hiatus, man.
Mike, I agree with you 100%.
I appreciate that, Travis. Well, it's just like, I just don't, like I said, if you like one or the other more, that's fine. I'm not, you know, I mean, I'm not going to get mad at anybody. Like,
I
But-
even like the third guy. I mean, I'm not going to mention
Blaze
his name 'cause
Bailey?
I get mad.
And
I
that's
like
fair.
Blaze, man. I
Yeah.
love Blaze, man.
Enjoy.
I like the song
Enjoy.
you had,
Enjoy.
The Klansman fucking ruled. I like First Choice.
I like the way
It's good
Bruce
fucking
does it.
music, man.
Bruce does it great live.
Well,
well, you know, and that, I mean, hey, as an Exodus fan, I love all three eras of Exodus.
yeah.
But it was weird because I remember when Rob Duke's in the band, and I hear a lot of people talk shit. I'm like, that guy's fucking awesome. What are you talking about? And I felt like he gave the band a definite shot in the arm, right? And then like when they got Zetro back, then all of a sudden these Dukes guys were complaining. I was like, well, number one, where the fuck were you guys when Rob needed you? And two, whatever, you know, Rob's got his band Generation Kill. He's doing fine. Exodus is doing great. They're still fucking friends. They're even talking about doing a tour together.
Yep.
I just, yeah, that's the only thing that, you know, like I said, it's cool if you like one more than the other, but I don't see the need to, oh, well, I've got to put this guy down. Now I know there, you know, you could make the analogy for another band that had two singers, but I'm not going to go there
Hello,
because I don't hate that
baby.
other guy, but I'm not a fan of that.
I'm just gonna say hello, baby. But
Yeah, but
Oh Jesus! Oh
but
crap!
it's pretty cool that we got a 5150 album, but then we
Oh.
also got a Human Smile album out of
I was
it.
about ready to ask Mike. Yeah, I don't want you. Who are you talking about when you said that? Oh, hello, baby. I'm like, oh fuck,
Hello,
that-
baby.
that fucking guy. Yeah.
U.S. Prime,
Or,
great,
you know,
guaranteed. Oh,
I just, because Verno, a fellow podcaster from Metal Mayhem ROC, he had kind of made a post about that, and he had basically said that version of Van Halen didn't have the bite that the original did. And somebody chimed in and said, well, a lot of times when a band's been around for a while, they don't really have the edge that they did when their first 10 years in existence. Fair point. Definitely a fair point. But what I chimed in with is coming from somebody who was both a fan of Van Halen and Sammy Hagar. Like, believe it or not, I didn't really have a lot of Sammy Hagar albums when I was a kid. You want to know why? I didn't have to, because they played them on the local rock radio station in St. Louis, KC95, all the time. Sammy's always been like a big deal here, a big deal. So when I found out he was joining Van Halen, I got excited. I thought, holy shit, this is going to be like Black Sabbath and Ozzy all over again. And we got Even Smile. I like that, but I was very, very disappointed in 5150 because I thought we were going to get, Space Station #9 and Rock Candy and fucking, heavy metal and Three Lock Box mixed with Everybody Wants Some and Atomic Punk and
we got Why Can't
all that
This Be
stuff.
Love
And
instead?
I didn't get that. I didn't get that, man. I mean, and that's cool if other people like it. Hey, rock out with your cock out, jam out with your clam out, ladies. I don't, and gentlemen.
Jam out with your clam out.
Huh?
I love it.
Yeah,
Jam
but
out
but it just didn't grab me. And that's coming from a guy who was a fan of both of them. Okay. So, I don't know, man. I Van Hagar, as it came to be known, didn't really, I mean, there's like maybe a couple of songs I like here or there, but it was not the same. And I feel like, and Jerry, I know, agrees with me. I've used this term more than once. I just kind of feel like they mutually neutered each other. To my ears, it was like that bite, that aggression, that that it wasn't there anymore.
But I said it before. Eddie is partly to blame for it too.
Of course he is. This shit of blaming
Absolutely.
Sammy totally for it is
Absolutely.
bullshit. The only thing I blame Sammy is going along with it. Hey, Sammy Hagar, there's only one way to rock, and that wasn't it, buddy.
Because the band goes the way Eddie says. There was no way Sammy was going to come in and say, hey, guys, this is what we're going to do. No.
Oh, of course not.
This was 100% the way Eddie wanted to go.
Yeah.
And if Dave was going to be on board or not, this is the way Eddie was going to go. And, Alex was going to go that way too.
So, of course. Yeah.
I'm just saying, I got tickets to see Sammy's Best of Both Worlds in August. So there you go.
Yes, I'm going in August as well. I'm excited. Also, this Saturday, I'm going to go see Styx with Foreigner. So I'm excited.
And Loverboy is opening. I was like, jazz. I go, I get to see Loverboy.
Oh yeah, Loverboy opens.
Everybody's working for the weekend. All right, Jerry.
Oh, Mark, I just threw up my mouth.
That was my Hollow Be Thy Name, Jerry. That was my number 4.
All right, my number 4 is How Many More Times off Led Zeppelin 1.
Yes, we all picked different Zeppelin songs.
Holy shit. What a fucking great bass riff and the fucking Jimmy with the bow. Just everything fucking works with that song.
Yeah.
I mean, just a killer closing track off one of the best debut albums ever, in my opinion. So yeah, that's a hands down going to be on my list. All right, we got number 3 now, Mike.
Ozzy Osbourne, Diary of a Madman, the title track from Diary of a Madman. I mean, my
Mike,
God,
I knew you would pick that.
This is a perfect song, like from beginning to end. It's just perfect. Everything about it's perfect. Ozzy's vocals are just. This song makes the hair on my neck stand on end. It always has the hair on my. It just, especially that part where they go into the chorus when Ozzy sings this, and then just goes oh with that fucking and like you just hear the agony of this mind that is just and the fact that this was something that Ozzy had percolated in his head, because Bill Ward had said that a while back, that the title Blizzard of Oz, even Diary of Madman, like. Those had been ideas that Ozzy had been playing with even when he was with Sabbath,
Oh, wow.
Oh
I didn't
yeah,
know that.
yeah. You know, that he'd wanted to do an album because of that Vincent Price movie. And he was just like, the idea of is he in control? Is he being possessed by a spirit, or is he just fucking split personality? You know, what's going on here? Yeah, it's just a beautiful song. And I mean, the band, you got Randy doing his thing, Bob and Lee doing their thing, and it's just a perfect song, man, in my opinion. It's one of those songs that if I had to be on an album, really, Diary is a masterpiece from beginning to end. I give it a little bit of it. I get it an edge over Blizzard for one reason. I'm not a big fan of No Bone Movies. I think if that had been the B-side and you get you looking at me looking at you, or whatever that song is, would have been it would, then I'd have to put Blizzard right there with Diary. But for whatever reason they didn't. They went with No Bone Movies, which I'm like, that should have been the B-side, guys.
That's like the worst song that you could possibly put on that album. It's just a horrible Ozzy song. Horrible.
Right. And I've never understood where, I mean, the guitar solo is pretty sweet, but it's still like, it's my least favorite song on the album, hands down. And as I said, the other song, and I didn't hear it till years later, but I'm like, well, fuck, they should have put this on this should have been on the record, and No Bone Movie should have been the B-side. Like, I don't know. Somebody was smoking something.
I love that song. The reason why I love Quest for Fire from Maiden. It's just stupid lyrics, but musically it's awesome.
What, No Bone Movies?
Yeah, I like No Bone Movies. I know the lyrics are stupid, but musically I think it kicks ass.
Well, I don't think it's I don't hate it, dude. I just think the other song was better.
It's just the reason why I love Quest for Fire from Maiden. A lot of people don't like Quest for Fire because of the lyrics. The lyrics to No Bone Movies are super stupid, but the music.
Well, I mean, really, if you listen to the lyrics, it's about,
it's about a porn.
Yeah. It's about beating off to porno, porn TV shit. What Pee Wee Herman got in trouble for?
All right. We're on Andy, your pick, man, number 3.
No Bone Movies. My number 3 has already been mentioned, and it was low on Mike's list there. I'm going with the Eagles, The Last Resort, as number 3. Absolutely love that song. And to add to what Mike was saying, because Mike was talking more about the second half, the first half was how the white man came and intruded on the Native American land.
That's true.
How they raped the land and nobody covered. Oh man, it was such a great song. It just goes.
That is true, because it's about kind of the American dream becoming the American nightmare.
Yeah, how it started coming into this land of equal opportunity, and then as we go on, everything starts taken away. You can kiss it goodbye. Starts taking things away. So
yes.
The Last Resort. I love that song, and I love the way that it ends with the harmonies.
Yes, it's a great song, man.
It is.
And I had a hard time ranking these things, because actually I had The Last Resort like much higher on my list earlier, but I kept going back and forth. So finally I was like, look.
Yeah.
And honestly, man, any day of the week it could be a different order.
Yeah. Yeah. But I love that song. That's my favorite Eagles album by far. Because the Eagles are a good, I think they're a really good singles band. But
I like On the Border. That's my favorite.
That's my favorite too. On the Border.
On the Border, yeah.
On the Border. I would pick Desperado a little bit more because
I love Desperado.
Desperado's a great album, but On the Border's got James Dean and fucking like old 54 or whatever it is. Ooh. That fucking song.
Good Day in Hell.
Good Day in Hell, On the Border. Great fucking album, man.
Yeah.
All right, Travis. Sorry.
Made his debut.
Yeah, Don Felder's first one, yes.
Yeah.
Well, number 3 is also another favorite album, one of my favorite albums of all time for me. From King Diamond's Abigail, Black Horse.
Nice. Great pick, dude.
Yeah, what a goddamn what a great song that is. Oh my gosh, Andy LaRocque just shredding up a storm and King Diamond's great vocals. I love the proggy passages throughout the song. And if you get the reissue after the Black Horseman, you get the bonus track Shrine, which also would have been a pretty good closer for the album. But man, Black Horseman is just so epic. I either would have picked that or I would have picked Merciful Fate's Come to the Sabbath, but I went with Black Horseman instead.
Both of those were in my honorable mentions. Great pick, man.
Oh, I love King Diamond. Thanks, man.
All right, Mark.
I'm gonna go with I don't like new metal that much, but I do like System of a Down. And I love the
too.
fucking song Aerials.
Oh, that's a great song, dude.
Great song, ends the fucking album, dude. Their fucking like album that broke through, fucking great fucking. I just love them. They just fucking they just go through it and they fucking melodic and then they go hard, they go speed, they go fucking death metal. They do everything on one fucking album. And this song is fucking, they go smooth, they go fucking jazz. Fucking this
That
band
does
can play.
surprise me that you like them.
I know you told me this before. I
Yeah.
love System.
Oh, me too. I love System of a Down.
I like that band Nervosa that fucking somebody got me into.
Nervosa?
Nervosa, yeah.
The female band from Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Yeah,
The same stomping grounds as the legendary Sepultura. Yeah, they're great.
Yeah. That
I
album
saw that
Jail-
and I was like, damn, Mark, I wish you'd asked me to be on that episode.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. I was pissed off. We put it back twice because I was supposed to. Really wanted to do that album, but man, we put it back too long and I couldn't be
Yeah,
on
the
it.
poor
It
guy
sucked.
Kevin. It's like
What's the last System of a Down album that has violent pornography and BYOB? What's that album? I forgot.
that was like a double set, right? They released them to like
Well, there was
Yeah.
Hypnotized and Mesmerized.
yeah, it was on those. Yeah.
Mesmerized is my favorite System of a Down album.
Yeah. Well, fucking that's my number 3, man.
All right, my number three. All my top 3 have been picked already. Kiss's debut album, Black Diamond, absolutely fucking great ending to a classic album. I said it before. I love Peter's voice, man. I think his vocals are under fucking appreciated in the Kiss catalog. I think he's the best vocalist in Kiss. I think he is. Sorry, I mean that raspiness is just on fire, especially in that song. That and nothing to lose. I mean his vocals on that are just out of the fucking world, dude. And it's a fucking great ender. Like I said, I prefer the double platinum version of it better. And I don't mind the live version when they do the duh, because they do it, it all sounds the same. And they got the fireworks
Well,
and all that
to
shit.
me, the best version of that song's Off Alive, in my opinion.
Sure.
But it's not a closing track. It was like, that's the song they play, and then they come back for their encore.
Yeah.
But that song, that version of the song, like, if somebody didn't know who Kiss was, I'd be like, this is Kiss right here. Just play that version of that song from Alive for him, man. It's epic. But it's not a closing track on the album, so. But it is on the original.
Yeah.
Which is great, too. It's in my honorable mention.
I just love it, man. It starts out so slow, then it starts rocking, Paul hit it. It's just
Da-na-na-na-na-na. Yeah.
just a great fucking tune, dude. And those first 3 albums in Kiss, man, fucking the best, in my opinion. The best era. Anyway, that's my number 3. Let's get to number 2, Mike.
Black Sabbath, The Writ from Sabotage.
Yeah. The way I feel is the way I am.
Yeah. Again, Ozzy wrote the lyrics to this one because he got tired of getting served with writs, as they call them over there in England, legal papers, because they were trying to fucking, and he was pissed off. The whole band was. And you can hear Ozzy's anger in his vocals, man. Like he's going off on, what kind of people do you think we are? Another joker who's a rock and roll star. You, he's just fucking going off, man. They're all going off on Patrick Meehan because he was ripping them off for millions and millions of dollars, man. And Ozzy thinks that's what kind of basically caused them to break up, is because they got rid of him and then they tried to manage themselves. And Ozzy's like, none of us really, Geezer had a little bit of idea, but none of us really fucking knew the business side of shit, man. We couldn't manage ourselves out of a paper bag, and he thinks because of that added stress and pressure that it got to be where it wasn't as fun making music anymore, because they couldn't just focus on that. They had to focus on the business side too. And, plus they were all doing lots of blow and
Lots of
booze and fucking fucked up and
Yeah.
you know, I
But
mean,
you're right. I'm sorry, but you're right about trying to be your own manager. The
yeah,
Beatles tried it, and
yeah,
look what happened.
yeah, yeah,
And that's why
basically.
they broke up, because they had no manager at that
Exactly.
time.
Once, the only difference is the Beatles were lucky enough. I mean, it's a shame he killed himself because that guy actually did look out for them. He
Oh,
did
yeah.
right by them. What was
Yeah.
his name? Brian
Epstein.
Epstein.
Brian
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Which I think Sabbath's first manager actually did do right by him, but they just got impatient and they let Patrick Meehan whisper a bunch of sweet nothings in their ear, and they ended up going with him, which was a mistake, obviously, because the other guy actually tried to look out for him. But you're young and you're impatient, you want it now,
Yeah.
and that's happened to a lot of bands. But yeah, I mean, once Brian killed himself, I really don't think the Beatles were ever really the same. I think that really affected them deeply
Yeah.
in a lot of different levels. So, but yeah,
And-
man, I mean, I think and like you can't go wrong, like Jerry's choice and your choice. I mean, dude, Sabbath wrote so many great. I mean, I came this close to picking Into the Void from Master of Reality. I think that's a banger of a closer. But it was just like, man, this song's just totally epic. Ozzy's vocals are off the chart. It's fucking amazing, man. That's my pick, The Writ.
All right, Andy.
And I just wanted to add that, when Brian Epstein passed away, they they had no manager, so Paul tried to take the lead role. And when he tried to take the lead role, the others, especially John and George, said, I don't know what you think you're doing. By telling
Right.
us what
Yeah,
to do.
that's what I mean. It caused problems. And I think the same thing with Sabbath. It's
Yeah.
like Tony tried to take control. And
I
I
did.
think Ozzy and the others were like, well, wait a minute, what's going on here?
you're
And I
not-
think
Yeah.
it just got to a point where, I mean, Ozzy even said, looking back, he goes, I blame, but it wasn't all Tony's fault. Tony was doing the best Tony could do
Yeah.
at the time. We were all just so fucked up and Ozzy also, he lost his dad, so he was really depressed. He was
Yeah.
going through a lot, and it just got to a point where, yeah, I mean, but ultimately, I think it worked out I mean, we got 4 amazing albums out of it, and Ozzy's had a legendary solo career, so,
That's true.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Hey, just want to
And
say,
the Beatles went off and did a lot of great things after the Beatles. Not as good as the Beatles, but I enjoyed a lot of what Paul and the boys did on their own.
Yeah.
I just want to say one thing. Happy birthday, Paul McCartney. 82 years old today.
Oh, wow. Is it really?
Yeah.
82, and it's still out there kicking ass, dude.
Yeah.
Still kicking ass.
Fuck yeah, dude.
My number 2, it's been said already, but I'm going to say it again. Iron Maiden, off of the Number of the Beast, to close out the album. Hallowed be thy name, dude. That's the definition of epic. I love it. It's fantastic. And I wonder if Mark and I are going to get the same number 1.
I already think if I don't call it, dude, then I really suck at it and I don't know you.
Or but I don't think it's the same song, but I think it's the same band.
Maybe the same band, but
yeah. All right. We'll see.
All right, Travis.
All right, number 2, my favorite Ozzy Osbourne solo song, From Bark at the Moon, Waiting for Darkness.
Oh, that's a great one. I love that song, man.
Great song.
And it is epic.
Jakey Lee's great guitar playing. I love the symphonic parts in the middle. And then Jakey Lee delivers my favorite guitar solo he's ever done. Oh, and the closing words, waiting for dark. It's like that's definitely a Beatles and ELO influence on that song.
Oh yeah.
Every time I hear it, it's a great song to play on Halloween. It's amazing.
Yeah.
My favorite Ozzy Osbourne album.
Yeah,
that's
and
my favorite album.
it's a shame that we here in the music world don't include "Bark at the Moon" when we talk about the previous 2. because it does deserve to be talked about with the previous two
Oh yeah,
albums.
and you know what?
Yeah.
That was one that was on my honorable mention, but I was like, I ultimately had to go, okay, Waiting for Darkness or Diary. For me, I got to go. But man,
I would have went
Travis,
Diary
great
too.
pick, and
Great
that's
pick.
why it's so cool we do this because we all pick different shit. We can all go.
Yeah.
We can all like fucking have a nerdgasm and go, oh fuck yeah, you know? and you know, because man, Waiting for Darkness, what an epic track, man. It's
And
just the
that's my
perfect
favorite-
ending to Bark at the Moon.
That's my favorite Ozzy solo album.
Yeah.
Great
And,
album.
I
man.
have a lot of reasons for that, but yeah.
No,
and-
dude. I mean, hey,
There aren't any wrong. There's no wrong answers. here.
No.
Mine's No More Tears Than in Diary. That's the way I go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
look, dude, Waiting for Dark. I mean, Bark at the Moon. I don't think it does get the love it deserves, man.
Well,
Because
it's the Randy factor.
exactly.
Yeah,
It was
Randy
the, you know, that it was the first album, you know, where I mean, yeah, dude, there was a lot going on with Ozzy and then losing Randy and then poor Jake, he gets thrown in the middle, you know, like, hey, I mean, that's a hard thing to do, man. And like I said, though, I think Bark the Moon, I mean, dude, that's why I said 83 as a Sabbath freak. I was in heaven, dude. Born Again, Holy Diver, and Bark the Moon. Are you fucking kidding me? Hell yeah. 83 was one of my favorite years in metal.
Yeah, I agree with you.
All right, Mark, you're up next, man.
All right, man. If anybody knows me, I fucking love this band. I love this, but this is like a fucking classic ending. Their first fucking album going out with a fucking bang, and you're going, fuck, I want to hear more from this fucking band. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, American Girl from their debut album.
Woohoo!
Fucking
Love that.
great fucking closer. Fucking it shows you their first album, they're fucking there already. This band fucking paid their dues. They played in the clubs, they played in the swamps, they played as Mud Crunch. Fucking this is fucking Tom Petty, dude. This is him saying, fuck you. I'm fucking gonna take over. I fucking love this song.
You know, Al and I were talking about how later on in his career, Tom Petty had gotten stronger,
Yes.
better.
Yes.
And we were talking about his last album, Hypnotic Eye.
Great
Fantastic album.
Fantastic.
And a mojo into that. The Last DJ. There was so much good stuff that in his last 10 years on Earth, he was just off the chain.
He never put out a bad album. The worst album he put out was Southern Accents, but I still like it because all those songs translate better live than on that studio album.
If I picked one that as my least would be Long After Dark.
Oh, I love that album.
That was
Zombies. I like Zombies.
Straight into darkness on that song, on that album. Oh god.
Yeah, I know.
All right. My number 2 is, I think this will be 4 out of 5 for this song. Hallowed Be Thy Name, Number of the Beast, man. Fucking dude. I was struggling with that and Rhyme of the Ancient Mariners. They're, you know, two really great Maiden closers, but I mean, you guys talked about Hallowed Be the Name, the vocals performance of it, the music. I mean, it has a fucking bell in it. When you have a fucking bell in it, you know the song's gonna be ominous and fucking cool.
Come on, man, Black Sabbath.
Exactly.
Black Sabbath,
I mean,
the first song, first album.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, fucking A, dude. It's one of the, yeah, I mean, it's one of the best fucking, you know, Maiden songs. It's my favorite Maiden album, and then it's Killers after that. So I kind of like both of the singers, you know. But yeah, I mean, what more can we say about that song that hasn't been said? It's a fucking classic. All right, number 1's Mike.
All right, man. Number 1, Mark, great pick. Okay, love me some Tom Petty. Love me some Tom Petty.
Oh yeah.
And my number 1, man. I mean, to me, it's one of my all-time favorite songs by this band. This band are everything to me. They're right there with Sabbath, and that's the Beatles, A Day in the Life from Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. I think it's just a perfect closing track. Everything about it. It was them at the height of their power. you know, John's vocals, the lyrics, and even that little part with Paul. And that very ending with the piano, and how you can hear it ring for like, it gives me chills every time I hear it, man. And
There's the first metal band right there.
yeah. Well, the Beatles, you could argue, are the first everything, you know, because they were so experimental and they went all over the place, man. They literally did. The only other band I could say about that, as far as they were all over the place, was Queen. Queen was like that. Were they hard rock? Were they metal? Were they arena rock? Were they pop? They were all those things, man. They even did, I mean, come on, Bohemian Rhapsody, they did a fucking opera song and mixed it with rock. I mean, and the Beatles were like that. The Beatles would just do, you know, show tunes, and then, you know, they just did all kinds of stuff, man. You know, they would do a country song, you know, like Rocky Raccoon, you know, they would do all kinds of different, they didn't care, you know, it was like, they just did whatever the fuck they wanted. And if you liked it, cool. And if you didn't, whatever. I mean, like about the White Album, man, Paul cracked me up in that anthology where he's on his boat and people were like, yeah, I'll get tired of people, you know, saying, oh, it should have been it's the bloody Beatles White Album. Shut up. You're like, you know, take it or leave it. And I just love that attitude because it's like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my number one.
Awesome. Andy.
A Day in the Life, huh? My number one is the Beatles. It's not A Day in the Life.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to go with the album before that. I'm going to go with Revolver, Tomorrow Never Knows.
You know,
I could have picked that one too.
And I struggled with that. I was like, man, because I love that song too.
Oh, that song. Talk about experimental.
Oh, yeah.
Groundbreaking.
And not only that, also a preview of what was to come.
Yeah.
For whoever listened to it for the first time when it came out, for those fans that were alive then, I mean, and the other thing that was kind of cool about it, it's on my honorable mentions, by the way, was when I saw the Lennon Claypool Delirium or Claypool Lennon Delirium with Les Claypool from Primus and of course Sean Lennon, they did 3 songs. They did, when they ended their show, they did one Sean solo song, they did Primus song, which was Southbound Pachyderm. And then they went into Tomorrow Never Knows, and it was amazing. I mean, the whole place went nuts, man. And yeah, it's great pick, Andy. Great pick. I mean,
thank you. And also, man, the drums by Ringo on there.
Oh,
dude's off the chain.
Ringo's so underrated as a drummer. He inspired. He had his own beat when nobody had their own beat. First drummer like that.
Yeah, and I hate when people say, "Oh, well, Paul was playing drums on that track."
No.
Ringo rules.
No, I mean, Paul flat out said it because in that McCartney, it's a documentary with him and Rick Rubin where they're isolating his bass tracks, but you can hear Ringo's drums. Yeah. And Paul says all the time, listen to what Ringo's doing. He was just doing his, Ringo, he gets a lot of shit. And people need to fucking stop. He's fucking Ringo Starr, motherfuckers. Yeah. You know, you're just probably pissed off because he probably. I think the people who hate on Ringo are just mad because he probably anally raped their mom while he was pouring shit in their gas tank. Oh shit! All right, because he was fucking Ringo Starr. Yeah.
Man, he was married to fucking Barbara Bach, man. He can't be any gorgeous than that. Yeah. Man.
You think Ringo Starr gives a fuck what you think? Get the fuck out of here, man.
Hey, I saw him live. His band was good, man.
I've seen Paul. I haven't seen Ringo yet.
Ringo's he's touring, dude. You should check him out. He's really good. You and Bill should go there, man. Seriously.
Oh, next time he's on our bucket list.
Yeah,
he's really good.
And to boot, Joe Walsh is his brother-in-law.
That's awesome. I know. All right. One thing, the guy we're going to go see though here this summer is John Cafferty. I'm really excited for that.
Oh, damn!
I love Creedence Clearwater Revival.
John Cafferty or John Fogerty?
Fogerty.
Oh, John
you say Cafferty?
Yeah, that's the Beaver Brown band. Yeah, I met John Fogerty. Yeah.
Did you say Creedence? You got your Johns confused. At least you didn't say
I sure did. Well, even
Hey,
their
John
name,
John
Cafferty.
Cafferty's John Cafferty's cool too, man.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
cool.
he
He ain't
is.
John Fogerty, but
Hey, I love Eddie and the Cruisers. That's one
I
of
do
my
too.
favorite
Yeah.
movies.
Who wants to hear the Dark Side of Town again? Does anybody want to hear it again?
All right, Travis, man, you're number one.
All right. On my number one, I've sung the praises of this band many, many times, and I will never stop. And it does feature the vocals of the one and only Ronnie James Dio from Rainbow Rising, A Light in the Black.
That's a good one.
Ooh.
It's
Great
like
one, dude.
everybody's on point. Cozy Powell slamming away. Ronnie James Dio's angelic, and then he just has that roar in his vocals. And that Richie Blackmore and Tony Carey trading off on those solos. And then at the end of that song, where's Ronnie James Dio's going, I'm coming home. I see a light. Sorry, I didn't mean to butcher that, but.
No,
No,
dude.
dude.
Hey, you know what? As much as I love what Ronnie did with the guys from Sabbath, and I love Dio, my favorite stuff, I think, is the Rainbow stuff. It's just phenomenal.
It's a masterpiece of a song, one of the greatest albums of all time, Rainbow Rising.
Oh, yeah.
Ronnie James Dio is the best vocalist, in my opinion, ever.
I agree with you on that
Rainbow
one.
is dead to me after Dio leaves. After that, I've got no use for Rainbow. After Dio leaves.
I
It just
All right,
added
Mark.
so much.
All right.
my number one where I thought Andy was going to pick this as his number one, but actually Mike did. In A Day in the Life by the Beatles. So we had the same band, but Tomorrow Never Knows is no slouch. I was
Right, that's what I mean. You can't. I
I-
can't go. Well, that's fucked, Andy.
No.
No, hell no.
That song sucks, Andy.
That song fucking rules.
okay.
I knew that was the way you were going to go, Mark, because you're always talking about that song about being.
This is like the song that just like this and Foreigner Double Vision. This song and listening to both these albums when I was 7 got you like you guys got into Kiss. Well, you and Jerry. It's just like this is my band. This is the Beatles. And then it got me into hard rock and same thing with Foreigner, and then Def Leppard in '83 got me into harder metal. Yeah.
Really funny because I mean I kind of got into the Beatles because of my aunt and my mom and dad. They liked them, but it was, it was really because of Kiss. Like when I would read, my brother get the rock man. Oh, well, who are your influences? Oh, the Rolling Stones. Well, hey, I want to hear these guys. And that's when I really started listening more to the Beatles and the Stones and fell in love, So, yeah. But yeah, that's cool that you were able to just go right to the Beatles right off the bat,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was about the same way. I started off with the Beatles, and from there, I branched out to everything else.
Yeah, the
I mean,
Beatles just opened your mind, especially Sgt. Pepper's. Just the new wave, the Cars, and like in Duran Duran, yeah, Oingo Boingo, but then Sabbath and everything else. It's like they're a gateway to everything because I started with the Beatles and Foreigner, then went to fucking Def Leppard, and then I went back to Ozzy and then all this other stuff. So because of that shit. Because the harmonies of the Beatles, harmonies of Def Leppard, the harmonies of Foreigner. And then Black Sabbath's got some great harmonies. Wait, Dio's got some great. That's how it got me in because of the harmonies of the Beatles.
Excellent.
All right. Well, my number one to close it out is Mike already said it. Damage Incorporated off Master fucking of Puppets, dude. It's angry, it's snidey, it's fuck you, it's in the face, in your fucking face. It's like, what the fuck are they gonna do next? And unfortunately, Cliff died after that, and Justice for All wasn't as good as Master, but holy shit, one of the best fucking closers. Actually, I think it is the best closing song off any album, especially metal albums. You can argue the Beatles, Zeppelin, or whatever, but I'm going metal here, and I'm taking Damage Incorporated off Master of Puppets, man. Fucking,
It's such an ugly song, dude. It's fucking ugly.
It is, man. It's fucking.
It bludgeons you.
It does.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you.
And that's what I love about it.
It
I'm
makes
getting
me
all
want
worked
to
up
go
just
put in
talking about
Master of Puppets on the way to work tomorrow.
I mean, dude, when I hear that song, I just I want to join Damage Incorporated. I want to be a part. I want to I want to fuck shit up. And
It never lets up.
yeah, I love it. And just the way James goes, Damage Incorporated. You know,
Yeah.
I just love it, man. It's just fucking badass, dude.
All right, man. This is a lot of fun, guys. Thank you for being on. That's a great topic, Mike.
Yeah, thanks, man. You know, do we want to talk about our honorable mentions?
Sure, go ahead. I didn't do any, but go ahead, Mike.
Okay, in no particular order. Pantera Hollow, Deep Purple Space Truckin'. Of course, that's from Machine Head. Pantera Hollow from Vulgar Display of Power. AC/DC The Night Prowler. This one almost
one.
made
Oh,
my
yeah.
list. It's
That's a
so
great one.
badass. From Highway to Hell, of course. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, American Girl.
Nice.
Great Minds Think Alike. Mark, Twisted Sister, You Can't Stop Rock and Roll, the title track. Rainbow, A Light in the Black from Rising. The Rolling Stones, Star Star, also known as Star Fucker from Exile.
Yeah.
Incorporated.
Or no, wait.
Star
it's from-
fucker, star fucker.
Goat Head Soup.
It's Star Star.
Goat Head
Yes,
Soup, yeah.
Goat Head Soup.
My
yeah.
bad.
That's
That's
right.
Goat Head Soup. Bob Seger, the famous final scene from Stranger in Town. I mean,
Good one.
probably one of the best breakup songs ever. And you can pick a lot of songs for that. But the reason why I like it is because if you listen to the lyrics and what he's talking about, like when he says, it's been coming on so long, you're just the last to know. Like, it's one of those, the reason why I relate to it is because it does remind me of a relationship where I knew it was dying. It was, you know, but it was like we were just going through the motions, and you know, it was just one of them things where it was like, for whatever reason, we couldn't totally cut it off. I mean, we eventually did, but it you know, it was just, if you listen to the lyrics and what he's singing about, it's heartbreaking, man. The Doors, The End, from their, you know, self-titled debut album. Ozzy Osbourne, Waiting for Darkness, Bark the Moon, Leonard Skinner, Freebird. Kiss, Black Diamond from debut album, Metal Church, The War Electric, Damned If You Do, Great Minds Think Alike, Jerry, Black Sabbath, or Ozzy Osbourne, Waiting for Darkness, from Bark the Moon, Rush, Cygnus X1 from A Farewell to Kings, Travis, Great Minds Think Alike.
That's on my list too.
Black Sabbath, Into the Void from
Yes.
Master of Reality, Aerosmith's Pantera, Pandora's Box from Get Your Wings, and I'm sure I'm forgetting a few. Well, I know the ones that the Merciful Fate and King Diamond, the ones you mentioned. I had them on my list too. Yeah, right back here. So yeah, dude. And that's just the ones I could think up off the top of my head. I'm sure I'm forgetting a bunch of other ones, because there's been some amazing closing tracks by a lot of great artists and bands over the years.
Yeah, there has been.
I know
All right,
Travis
Andy, you got
has a
any?
bunch of them.
Oh
Andy,
yeah.
you got any?
I just have a few. Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band doing Juggle Land off of
Love
Born
it.
to Run. I love that
it.
track. Also, the band live off their debut. I don't know if Throwing Copper was their debut album, but White Discussion. Love that song by
No,
Live.
their first album was Secret Samadhi.
That was their second.
Second.
That was afterwards.
Oh, no, Throwing Copper was their third album though.
Okay, well, Secret Sahara came after Throwing Copper.
It was
Yeah.
before Throwing Copper.
No, it was not, Mark. It was
after. It was after. I think there was a couple of albums before Throwing Copper, but it wasn't Secret Sahara. I think that was afterwards. Oh, but let me keep going. Foo Fighters, off There's Nothing Left to Lose, MIA. Don Henley, Heart of the Matter, off of End of the Innocents.
Good
Love that song. Dokken,
Great
off,
one.
oh, thanks. I love that song. I love that whole album. Dokken, off of Back for the Attack, the Dream Warriors.
Yes.
In the album.
Yeah,
Which
you're
is
right.
also-
It was Mental Jewelry.
Right. Okay.
Mental Jewelry and the Death of a Dictionary. So it was their third album. I was right on the third album.
Yeah. It was their third, but that was their breakout album.
Yeah, Secret Samadhi was after that.
It was after it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
I missed no problem. And that's all for my honorable mentions.
All right, Travis.
I'm just gonna shoot through these one by one. I'm gonna just mention the songs that nobody else mentioned, even in the honorable mentions. Grand Funk Railroad doing a great cover of the Animals' "Inside Looking Out."
Love that. Kansas, Magnum Opus.
Great one.
Deep Purple from the third Deep Purple album, April. Love, beautiful song.
Oh yeah.
Frank Zappa, Montana.
Oh shit.
Alice Cooper, I Love the Dead.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Black Sabbath, Under the Sun.
Oh, nice.
Black Sabbath again.
War.
Black Sabbath again with Nightwing from Headless Cross. Love that. Tool, Third Eye. Metallica, Call of Cthulhu. Who? Love Rain on Me.
Oh wow, yeah.
Good one.
Rolling Stones, You Can't Always Get What You Want.
Good one.
I know probably people are sick of hearing about this band thanks to a certain next co-host, Oasis, Champagne Supernova.
Oh, I totally omitted that song from this podcast.
I love that song though. Jane's Addiction, Pigs and Zen.
It is a good song.
Yeah, Pens and Zen. Yeah.
Except Princess of the Dawn. Alcatraz, Suffer Me. And Cheap Trick, The Ballad of TV Violence.
Oh, that's a great one.
There you go.
All right. Mark, you got anything to add?
Yeah, I just got, you guys already mentioned when the levee breaks. I think the only one that I have on here you didn't mention was Guns N' Roses Rocket Queen.
Oh crap.
The Doors, The End, Jimi Hendrix, Voodoo Child, Slight Return, Pink Floyd, Brain Damage, Eclipse, and Diary of a Madman. Ozzy.
I forgot to put that one down.
Rocket Queen, yeah.
Great closer, dude. God, so damn good.
It's epic.
It is.
All right, man. It was just a lot of fun, man. Mike, you got anything you need to promote or anything before we sign off?
Well, you can check out the Metal Mike Show every Friday at craniumradio.com from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And whenever we get the plug up and running, which is hopefully soon. In the meantime, man, I'm just going to be a podcast whore. So if you guys need me for anything, let me know. I'd be more than happy to come on, you know.
No problem.
Because I've kind of missed it, you know. And like I said, I had a blast doing Andy's, and I've had a blast doing this, man. It's been a lot of fun. So thanks.
Awesome. Andy.
Yeah, tomorrow on the Black Spinner Circle vidcast with Al Horta, what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be ranking the tracks off of Van Halen 1984 tomorrow.
Nice.
And we're going to be oh, cool, yeah. Al's always said that Van Halen is a summer band. That so I thought, you know what, with summer coming around, let's do Van Halen. So and our guest tomorrow will be Brad Dahl, and Jimmy James Schwartz will be with us tomorrow.
Nice.
So we are excited for that show tomorrow.
All right, Travis, anything to say, man?
Not really. I don't have a podcast or a YouTube channel yet, but maybe that'll change one day. But I just keep posting music on Facebook. I'm on Freeform page. I'm on the RMCP page. I'm everywhere. I'm just posting music I love and maybe some bands that people don't know too much about that they could get into. So I'm free to be on any podcast if my work schedule permits it. So there you go.
Awesome. All right, Mark, man, take us out, dude.
Well, I'm just gonna say tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. Well, Friday, because we usually promote this on Thursday. RTZ Return to Zeros, our show coming up on Friday on Freeform Rock Podcast. Check out that episode. That was Jerry's pick. See what we think about it. And also, man, be good to each other, man. Don't be a dick. You know. And take us out, Jerry. Let's get the fuck out of here.
All right, guys, y'all take care. It's okay to like Bruce Dickinson and Paul Di'Anno, by the way. It's okay to like them both, everybody.
It's okay to like Roth and Hagar too.
Yes.
Well, let's not push it.
I pushed it too far, but
Hey, it's okay to like Solo Hagar and Montrose Hagar and Van fucking Halen.
you know, when I was listening to a Montrose a couple of days ago, dude, Ronnie Montrose could have been so much bigger.
He
So
should
much
have
bigger.
been. Sammy talked about that in his book.
Mhm.
Apparently, Ronnie had some.
He had some mental
obviously,
problems.
he did commit suicide, so he had some issues, man. It's a shame because the dude could shred, man.
I didn't know he committed suicide. I thought that he was dying from cancer.
Oh no,
He
no.
committed suicide.
Maybe that's why he did. I'm not sure, but I know he did commit suicide.
He
Almost
suffered with
positive
depression.
he did.
He suffered with depression his whole life.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
always like his worst critic, and that's what led to him offing himself. It's sad. I love that first Montrose album.
Because
It's
I
a
mean, Sammy even talked about in his book, it really bummed him out because he felt like him and Ronnie had real chemistry, and they did.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
especially
did.
that first record, man.
Mhm.
Holy shit.
And not just that, I bought a couple Gamma albums.
Yeah.
Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. And dude, he was doing keyboards before Eddie started doing keyboards. It's like Eddie was taking each footstep. I'm not taking anything away from Eddie
Oh,
Van
I know what
Halen.
you're saying. You know, look, man. I mean, a lot of
But
people
Montrose-
sometimes
Hey
think that
guys,
I'm like,
Jerry's got to go to sleep, man.
oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm good. Keep talking, man.
No,
What
go
do you-
ahead. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
The one thing I was going to add, like some people I think that like I'm anti-keyboard, but I'm like, hello. We talked about Blizzard of Oz. We talked about Diary of a Madman. We talked about Bark of the Moon. Keyboards on that. My biggest problem was when it got to like the mid to late 80s and the keyboard started overpowering and drenching. It was just drenched in keyboards and it overpowered all the other instruments. That's when I started to have a problem with it. It was almost like they just went nuts with it. Even live, I mean, if you listen to Ozzy Osbourne, The Ultimate Ozzy, which is a concert filmed in Kansas City, the keyboards are so heavy in the mix, they overpower the rest of the band, man. It's like it's too much of a good thing is what I'm saying. I mean, I love Deep Purple. I am not anti-keyboard, but it should be part of the music, not overpowering the music.
Yeah,
See what I'm
exactly.
saying?
Yeah.
And I think like with 1984, you had the perfect mix with certain, I mean, I said I'm not anti-keyboard, man, but it was like when it got to certain bands where it's just like, like Heart was real bad about it in the 80s, man. It's just drenched in keyboards. I'm like,
Yeah,
whoa.
drenched in poppy keyboards. But when keyboards were coming in with excuse me, with Ozzy and with Van Halen and with Ronnie Montrose with Gamma, it was heavily used. It was used heavy, dark, not poppy or it was
right,
stuff like that.
It basically came to a front in 1986 when, Turbo from Priest came out, and Iron Maiden Somewhere in Time, which I love. I love Somewhere in Time, but keyboard heavy for sure. And then you got Y&T going heavy on the synthesizers.
Well, even Ultimate Sin, as much as I like that record, I don't like the production, and the keyboards are way too heavy in the mix for me. Great songs, though. I mean, fuck, Killer of Giants. Are you kidding me?
They only did one heavy keyboard song, and that was Summertime Girls, and they hated that song.
As they should, because it sucked.
Yeah, Y&T, that's the only keyboard song they ever had. Contagious wasn't keyboards, it was all like riffs and shit.
Contagious
was a good band.
Contagious was just too clean sounding.
I love Contagious.
Those first four, those Earth Shaker through In Rock We Trust, man, I love the death.
Yeah.
I love 10. I love Contagious. They have some grunge kind of albums that are okay.
Well, it's funny. And I'm sure some of you already heard it. Decibel Geek just did their year in review, part 1 of 1983, and they mentioned Fastway. And I'm with Chris, man. That's a band that I think should have been much bigger than they were.
Yeah,
they were great, man. They were a great band. I mean, great songs.
They were talking about Dave King. Well, maybe he should come back and do some Fastway. And I guess they don't know Dave King disavows Fastway. He doesn't like that part of his career. He will never come back and sing metal. He's going to do
I think
Irish
what they said is they wanted to interview him and do an Albums Unleashed.
Oh, I don't think he'll do that because he disavows it. He doesn't want to talk about it.
Yeah, but he's been doing Flogging Molly for a long time. But that's a shame. I don't know why he's got to be like that. It's like, dude, it's.
He doesn't look kindly back on that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Fastway, here's a little recommendation. The way in Fastway is Pete Way, but he was still in UFO at the time. Check out Wasted with Vices. That's a great album to check out if you love Pete Way. I'm sure you guys have heard that album already, but
All right,
All
Wasted.
right, guys.
Let's
We
get
gotta
out of
end
here,
this,
man.
Sorry.
Thank you guys for
You
being on the
guys
show.
can keep talking if you want. I just
Nah,
gotta
man,
go.
let's get the fuck out of here, man.
All right, thank you all for
Yeah.
being on,
Thank
man.
you, Mike.
Take
I'll
care.
hit you
Thank
up on
you.
that podcast thing. All right.
Yeah.
Take it
Okay.
easy.
All right.
Later,
later.
guys.
Bye, guys.